The Michael K. Show on Yes is brought to you by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Shop now at untuckit.com.
And a good afternoon, everybody. This is indeed the Michael K. Show on a Football Friday. It's December 1st. It's December already. 2023. Michael K., Don LaGreca, and Peter Rosenberg will make our picks. We're going to talk to Buster Only as we prepare for the baseball winter meeting starting next week in Nashville. Joe Fortenbaugh is going to join us at 5:30 to help us through some picks. Now, I get a little bit of a head start because I did get the 1 point by taking the Seahawks at 9.5. Although Incarcerated Bob did great, he had a 3-legged parlay for big money, so I congratulate him. And he made his picks already. He made his picks. And as I'm looking, Don and God, through the picks, I'm so happy that I at least got a one-pointer because I don't see many picks that jump out at me. I don't know about you guys. Do you feel strongly about anything?
No. I love something. I'm very big. Very big. I got 2 3-point plays. Can I get 2 3-point plays this week?
Not if you're God. You got inside information.
And I just came on early to say, Michael, you're a gutless puke. I can't believe you went with 1. You literally disappoint me. You have disappointed God. Have a good show.
Good. You know what I was thinking about for next year? See what you guys think.
Go ahead.
We have 6 points to allocate.
Yes.
We can allocate it whichever way we want. We could take one game for 6 points. We could take a game for 4 and the other ones for 1 apiece.
Oh.
It's not a bad idea.
No, there's really, it's very interesting, right? I guess the only thing would be you're just going to make let's say if you love somebody and you're going to make it your 6-point play, do you just not make the other 2 picks, or do you just make
don't
them
make the other 2?
Well, no, I guess
it's
you got.
Intriguing,
You know what? You got to make them just for a tiebreaker situation, right? Because we do go to record, so you're still going to have to make the picks. It just you'll allocate 0 points, and then it'll just because you don't want to fall behind in the record.
Oh, that's interesting. You still make the picks.
Still have to
I hear
make
what
the
you're
picks.
saying. Yeah, because we don't want to have we don't want to be playing with so few games.
Now,
like someone who picks 15 games.
Can you start
70 games?
Can you start doing things like I like it for a 0.5 point, and I like something for 5.5?
Yeah, why not? Really jazz it up next year. We'll get the cattle prod involved for Don because he likes pain. Like anybody who loses a week gets cattle prodded.
Well,
Don likes that.
We can't do the 0.5 points, Peter, because then if you get a push, then what are we gonna we're gonna start going to quarter point? I mean, you can't do that.
No, sure. Really make it really interesting.
Come on, we're gonna drive Jarv crazy.
Well, the guy who's sitting back today feeling pretty is ICB, Incarcerated Bob.
I got to give credit where credit is due, though. He came through. No one's ever done that. He came through very hard, and he came through on the side, Don, that frankly I was not comfortable with, which is what he does because he's a real bettor. And generally, real bettors go against the huge public plays. That's what makes them better. So it made sense. But man, Don, yes, the 9.5 was in question a couple times. But the Seattle over was never in question. The total for the game was never in question. And most of the game, you felt good that Seattle was going to cover.
Not the last 5 minutes.
Well, not for you. Not for you. I get why you had the nerves there. There was a moment or two, but generally speaking, it looked pretty clear that was going to be a close game.
I like the throwback Seahawk uniforms. That was nice.
So you thought you're feeling Jim Zorn. That's what you're feeling.
Yeah, you feel a little Jim Zorn. You feel a little Steve Largent.
Sure.
Yeah, good stuff there. But, I mean, penalties galore. Just not an exceptionally well-played game, but a lot of points. And I'm sure a billion people watched it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And also, I mean, can we stop? I'm here with everybody on the NFL has not been great this year. I totally agree. There have been some sloppy games and some really poorly played, not fun games. Loppet pig. But let's give credit where credit is due. That's a fun football game last night. From beginning to end, you were entertained.
You were entertained except for all the flags. And even Pete Carroll said after the game that it just didn't feel right. And Al Michael said, we'll take the rest of the night off. He got disgusted. I don't know who he had yesterday, Cowboys or the Seahawks. I couldn't figure it out.
Now, Pete Carroll was talking like a fan because he's right. That every time there's an incompletion, you're just waiting for a flag. And it seems like most of them come on third down. You get a big third down. You think you get a big stop, Peter. You know, as a fan, Commanders get a big stop on like a third and 15 at midfield. You think you're getting the ball back.
Makes you sick.
Oh, there's a flag.
There were a total of 257 yards between both teams. 19 penalties, 257 yards.
Jeez, the Jets would take those yardage on Sunday.
And the Cowboys really overwhelmed them in time of possession. 36 minutes and 27 seconds. Seattle 23-33. And Seattle was in it right until the end.
Huh?
So
Dak is putting up MVP numbers.
He is, and Dallas has a 14-game home winning streak. And Seahawks might have lost a chance to make the playoffs yesterday because the next two games are real tough too.
Well, you know who liked that? The Giants. If you want to believe that was a game that you wanted the Seahawks to lose. Seahawks have that 7 seed, still have it at 6-6. Minnesota's sitting there at 6-6, and the Giants are 2 games behind. Again, I don't think it's going to happen, but in order for it to happen, you're going to see you need those teams ahead of them to lose games.
Now, we talk about the Giants, and we kind of just slough it off. The Giants, are mathematically alive.
Yes.
Now, realistically,
no,
probably not. Although their schedule does benefit them if they found something, and if Tyrod Taylor starts and really starts the deal and spin it, they got a chance to win some games. So we'll push that aside. Amazingly enough, despite the utter offensive ineptitude of the New York Jets for the entire season after the first 4 plays, they got a chance. It's a small chance, but they got a chance. Now, in order to keep that chance alive, that minuscule chance alive, they've got to beat the Falcons on Sunday. And I'm not going to pick this game because, to me, it's like a third-rail game. But if I had to pick it like we used to in the past where we had to pick the New York teams, I'd take the Falcons. But I could see the Jets winning this game. I really could. But I would take the Falcons if I had to take it because how do you bet the Jets? How do you bet the Jets? Now, you can say Ritter is awful. Okay, is he worse than Boyle? I don't think so. We don't even know. Simeon might even start. They haven't even said it. But I don't think Ritter is as bad as either of them. The game is going to be won by the defense. The Jets are not going to be able to run against the Falcons. Will the Falcons be able to run against the Jets? Their running game's not that bad. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game, guys.
No. I think it's one of the lowest over-unders that we've seen this year.
I think it's 33.5.
And that's lower than Giants-Patriots, that are 2 of the worst offensive teams. But to me, guys, if you want to play the game of them being alive, which is literally true, then let's play it out on the defense has to they have to win this game. You can't rely on any offense. You can't. We've seen bad football. If you're hoping to score points, you're going to lose. So I hate to do it to them because they've been so good all year, and they're easily the best thing about this team. Well, they're going to have to show it. They're going to have to go out there and win this game against the Falcons. Almost go on thinking you can't allow more than 3 points. Like, they're going to have that kind of mentality. And the Falcons have scored 213 points this year. That's an average of less than 20 points per game. And, Peter, you'll appreciate this. They're an NFC South team. The division they're lined up with to play during the course of the year is the AFC South. All right, so they've got a lousy schedule, still averaging less than 20 points per game. Whenever they played a decent team, they've been completely shut down. 6 points against Detroit, 7 points against Jacksonville. So the Jets aren't a playoff team, but their defense is. Defense got to go out there, shut the Falcons down, win this game 3-0, and just stay alive. Kick the can down the road to see if you can survive another week and see if you can keep the hope alive for Aaron Rodgers. This is all on the defense. None of these bogus points to start the game, none of these long drives. They got to go out there, pitch a shutout. They're capable of doing it. Go out, do it. Do not rely on getting anything from this offense.
Now, we had said that if they lost to the Dolphins, their season was over. We keep saying that, but again, the road does not close. So they come into this game at 4-7. They win this one, they're 5-7. Forget about style points. As Don said, win 3-0. I don't care. Win 7-3. I mean, I don't think they're going to blow a lot of people out. They don't have the offensive capability to do that. And then you got a pulse. Let's put it that way. You got a pulse. Amazingly enough, you would have a pulse. Except I can't feel real strong about that. What did Boyle show you last week that would lead you to believe that he's going to put points on the board?
Nothing. So the defense is going to probably have to score. But am I wrong to put the onus on the defense? They were the ones talking up the 85 Bears. They're great. Michael, their only chance to win is because of this defense. Go out there and do it. I know it's unfair, but what's the other avenue? Punt returns for touchdowns? I mean, how can you rely on any points at all? Any. You don't have a competent quarterback. You've got an offensive coordinator that has the yips, apparently. The one good thing about this team is their defense. Go do it.
So I just accidentally looked at the wrong thing on X. Right? And Jeff Klein,
what happened, Michael?
Who's a listener to the show, said, I know you guys are contractually obligated to talk Jets, which is fine. Well, Jeff, you're starting your argument with an absolute falsehood. We're not told to talk anything. We're not told to talk about ESPN. We're not told to get ESPN guests. We're not told to talk. Well, the Knicks are also on our station. The Rangers are also on our station. Why wouldn't we be contractually obligated? What else is there to talk about in the NFL? The Giants are off.
What are we playing this game for? It's obvious. It's a Friday. It's a football Friday. Technically, we opened up with the Cowboys-Seahawks game, and God.
There you go.
What else are we supposed to talk about?
The Jets, and by the way, the Jets are still playing, and they are still alive. And by the way, there's a lot still going on with this team. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was at practice today. There's a lot of reasons to talk about this. I'm sorry. By the way, and just, guys, you guys know me. We've opened with baseball the last 2 days. We've gone other directions on this show. Yeah, it's a football Friday in December.
It's Friday.
And Jeff goes on to say, it's fine that you have to talk about them, but to say that they have a chance just because they're not mathematically eliminated is an absolute joke. Jack Nicholson said it best. Jack Nicholson said it, sell crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up here. What did I say? I said it was minuscule, but they're not eliminated. Sorry, Jeff, if that's not cool with you. And then right below him, why does Michael K keep saying Tyrod Taylor would be better off a quarterback for the Giants over this Tommy DeVito kid, who's the one that's been better than both him and Jones? I don't get that. Joe, do you listen to the show? I don't think that. I think they should play DeVito. I've said it all week. I love these people. I just turn on the radio, and they hear a thing, and they go, well, that's it. Oh, that's his stand.
Listen,
I know why I feel free of mine, because I don't look at that, and I just accidentally, because I'm looking at it on the computer rather than the phone.
I wouldn't give it any
it's crazy town.
I wouldn't give it any credence. But
I mean, I would start Tommy DeVito. You know what you have in Tyrod Taylor.
Oh, well, I said you start the quarterback that gives you the best chance to win. And if they look at the film over the next, I guess now down to a week during the bye, and they feel like Tommy DeVito's the better quarterback, play him. If they think that Tyrod Taylor's a better quarterback, then play him. But eventually, it's all going to come out that then in the second that you're eliminated, which would be, I think, likely a loss against the Packers, would be the 9th loss. You're pretty much done, and then you could play DeVito. But hey, listen, if the Giants were playing, they are mathematically alive. I also give them no shot. So you want to talk about the Knicks beating the Pistons on November 30th? You want to talk about the Ranger Predator game tomorrow? You want to talk about the Devils beating the Flyers in overtime last night? It's a football Friday, people. What do you want to do? Now, do I think we do excessive Jets? Well, yeah, but blame the Jets. And Aaron Rodgers, they've been interesting, and there hasn't been a lot other interesting things. We got no playoff baseball in October that meant anything. Right? Giants didn't give us anything to talk about early in the season.
You know what the take is?
Poo-poo?
Sloppy.
Now, you were going with Sloppy Pig because
I didn't say pig.
Now, what did you? But your sloppy was based off of the Sloppy Pig from
Ray?
From Ray from North Carolina, right?
I was thinking Ray.
Yeah, I wasn't.
No, I was going Billy Madison.
Oh, so we were all going.
The quicker y'all get rid of that sloppy pig, the better you can do.
I was going with something that we used to say at the stadium about something. Very sloppy. And yeah, so all three of us went the different sloppy route.
Oh, probably, okay. That's That's real, and I know exactly what you're talking about. We're going to leave it at that. I was going about the Billy Madison. You're like a sloppy Joe's extra sloppy.
You know what? You happen to do a very good Adam Sandler. So we've discovered that on December 1st, 2023. We've discovered that Peter is an unbelievable 45. He's almost 45 years old.
I don't appreciate my 45 being compared to Don's Adam Sandler.
It's on an equal level.
Don just threw that out. I mean, he just liked to say sloppy Joe.
Yeah, but he did it well.
Let me hear it again.
Because I know you guys like your sloppy Joe's extra sloppy. Stop looking at me, Swan.
No, it does not sound like...
I think it's great.
I enjoyed it. I know. I want to hear it as much as I can. It doesn't sound like Adam Sandler. It sounded like Don LaGreca being Adam Sandler, and I loved every minute.
Well, I mean, you sound like Peter Rosenberg being 45.
Wait a minute. Do not soil the 45 imitation.
Yeah, do not soil. Don't in an effort to defend Don, do not soil the good name of 45.
Anthony Greek, who's unbelievable. I don't know how he comes up with these gambling numbers. But he said Robert Saleh has coached 4 games in his Jet career on extended rest, which is what this is because the Jets played on Black Friday. Jets are 1-5 straight up and 0-5-1 against the spread in those games.
Lord.
That's not good.
Failing to cover the spread by 14.67 points per game.
Man, I really like Coach Saleh, but every once in a while we get hit with stats like that are, in a word, troubling. Because those are the stats that, like the great coaches off of buys, dominate. Like, you have to admit, guys, that's like a thing, right? You don't want to see Belichick off a bye. You don't want to see Andy Reid off a bye. Like, there are just coaches with given time to prepare. They're awesome. I don't like hearing that
and
stat.
What's one of the criticisms of Robert Saleh is, poor starts by his teams. So doesn't that fall into the narrative of just not getting his team ready?
Right, and the guy that you could say might be one of the best it's not might, he's one of the best coaches in football. Andy Reid hardly ever loses off a long layoff, ever.
But, they always said that about Belichick because you give these geniuses extra time. But for everybody else that's not going to the Hall of Fame as a head coach, that extra time should be something you use to your advantage. And if you're not using it to your advantage, then you're probably not that great of a coach.
Now, next Thursday night, it's the Patriots against who?
Don't know.
Okay, so the Patriots are playing an NFL team. The Steelers.
I read it this way.
All right.
Okay, Steelers.
So during the Thursday night football game yesterday, they have a graphic that comes up. Next week, Patriots and the Steelers. So they have a Steeler player who I don't remember who it was. They put a player on a team. And for the Patriots, they put Bill Belichick. The Patriots don't have a player that they could highlight. They had to put Bill Belichick up there.
Well, Smith-Schuster's a good player. They could have thrown him on there.
They did. They didn't.
Well, it's still it is Bill Belichick. It wasn't like they were throwing out Gase or somebody. It's a good it's one of the greatest of the game. But they've got some players that none of them.
I mean,
some not a lot.
Well, let's go to the phones. Huh?
Will there be a point scored? What's going to be the over under in that game?
I'd say 11. 11 and a half.
Well, see the half. That makes you think maybe.
Let's go to Steve in Middle Village. Steve.
How you doing, guys? Happy holidays.
Same to you.
I've been trying to get through this week, and thank you for taking the call. I'm a casual football fan, but I've been a long-time metropolitan area sports fan of all 4 sports.
Okay.
And it really came to me watching the Amazon Black Friday Bowl, which I think is going to happen now forever. After killing 2.5 hours at least of my Black Friday watching the Jets, and I have no axe to grind, but my hot take is the Jets are probably historically the worst franchise out of all 4 major sports. And all the teams, the Jets, the Mets, Rangers, Yankees.
You mean of all time, or you mean just now?
No, all time you're talking about.
I mean all time, historically.
Well, I mean, it's hard to argue that.
Yeah.
I mean, they have one championship in all the years of existence. They've made the playoffs in 12 years. So, yeah. Who's been worse?
I don't even think it's a hot take.
Yeah, who's even close?
They've got the longest drought of any team. Now the Nets have never won, but they didn't start when the Jets started.
But they've been to 2 finals. And they did win as the
Right.
net. The
Right.
New
They
York
went to
Nets.
2 finals, and the Jets have gone to 1. They went to the Super Bowl. They won a championship. The Nets haven't, but they've gone to the playoffs more often. No, it's nobody. I mean, Islanders have won 4 Stanley Cups. It hasn't been good since then, but they won 4.
Devils have won 3.
Devils have won 3. The Rangers have been to a couple of Stanley Cup Finals over the last 30 years. No, I mean, the Knicks haven't won since '73, but trips to the finals in '94 and '99. If you were to put it in order, I guess the Jets would be 1, and I guess the Nets 2.
Yeah, I guess so.
But the Jets hurt so much more.
But the Nets of late have been better than the Jets.
And the Nets. I mean, I guess the Nets and Jets had runs in the early-ish 2000s that were interesting.
They went to the finals twice.
So
let's go back to the phones.
Oh, by the way, we're getting the over-unders 40.5 for Steelers-Patriots. Woof.
And
I'll take the under.
People are also saying, Don, that you're doing the lunch lady from Billy Madison. You're not doing Billy Madison.
Yeah,
I know what I'm doing.
it's not actually.
You're the one that said it.
But it sounded Sandlerish.
But Sandler's not the
that's-
one speaking. The Stop Looking at Me, Swan, that's Adam Sandler.
Right.
Right.
Same movie. Epic movie.
And if you wanted to go to Lunch Lady Land, the song,
That is...
then that's Sandler.
No. Well, the song, but the lunch lady was not
Farley's the actor.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Sure.
But on his album, I think he does a lunch lady with a sloppy Joe. But I was channeling the lunch lady from Billy Madison, which is not Adam Sandler.
Let's go to Carmen in Syracuse. Carmen.
How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good. I just want to tell you, you guys are my favorite. My wife, she records it when I'm at work, so I can come and watch you guys. It's you guys are the best.
Thank you.
I just have 3 things. First of all, Mike, my wife loves you. Okay.
Uh-oh.
If she could divorce me and marry you, she would be
Wow.
happy.
I'm flattered.
And-
Thank you.
Yep.
Is that? Well, let me ask you. Is
Great
that?
taste.
Well, listen. I'm going to go
Yeah.
there, and you can yell at me if you want to. Is that why she DVRs it to help out in the bedroom?
Oh, my God. Carmen, don't...
Yeah. If he's going to watch it, then guess what?
Hey,
Then that's great.
you
She can
benefit
watch
from
all
it,
night
right?
long.
There you go.
Good for
All
you.
right, but listen, the last thing I want to say to Michael is my wife said that the outfit you're wearing right now, you look like you're in the Navy. So I just want to say 2 things. Aaron Rodgers is the only winner out of the New York Jets, money-wise. Next year, he's going to be 42 years old.
No, you won't.
And
He'll be 41 in December.
41 next December.
41.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, he's the only winner. And the Giants should play DeVito because I think the team is fired up with him, with all the Italian stuff. They're excited. And I think they should keep playing him because I think he could be the backup quarterback of next year.
I think that it trends that he will be the backup quarterback because, why bring back Tyrod and have to pay him $5-6 million a year? He's on second year of a 2-year, $11 million deal. So that's why I would continue to play DeVito. He hasn't hurt them. He hasn't scored a lot, but he did have 3 touchdowns in 1 game. So it's not like he's inept and he doesn't turn the ball over. We know what we have with Tyrod Taylor, but I also understand what Don's saying. As long as you're still in it, I guess you have to go with the veteran. That's the reason Tyrod Taylor's there, right?
Yeah, because you're going to. The best thing you'd say about DeVito, I know he had the 3 touchdown passes against Washington, is that he's a game manager. Don't make mistakes. But if they're going to navigate through, even the Packer team that's actually playing pretty well and can keep this thing alive, they're going to have to score some points. And you probably would feel better with a veteran who's done a lot more in that area. But I can understand fans wanting DeVito to be out there. It does add a little spice to it.
Now, Don, I don't know if you feel comfortable saying that, but there's somebody that you know
Yes.
that actually used to use video of me for their relationship.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
Now the relationship didn't have legs.
Well, I mean, that should be the first indication, right?
Well, among many others, it wouldn't be high on the list. but if the list was made, it probably would be on it.
But Peter, they used video of me to help out.
Yeah. It's to say it's in a word troubling is such a huge understatement. It's beyond belief.
And the fact that
Beyond
Michael's
the pale.
still like 15 years later, I told him this years ago that it's still there to throw out. It's something he's very proud
That's on
of.
my deathbed.
Oh, he loves it.
It's unbelievable to me. Hey, it's Michael K. I love when I get to talk about our friends at PC.
All right, here we go. It's a big responsibility to be a designer. Dagny Dover is a bag brand based in New York City, founded by 3 women. We make hyper-functional, performance-driven bags. That's like a mouthful. We're all about getting the most out of life. When you're organized and you have your things together, you feel good. And when you feel good, you can live life intentionally. Oh, it's pronounced Dagny Dover. Dagny means new dawn. It's a new dawn for fashion.
We just shipped our millionth monthly coffee subscription box. We're sending custom thank you gifts to everyone on our team who helped us get there. I had to call Eric at Custom Ink. Custom Ink has been with us from the beginning, and he makes sure that we get everything we need and even reminds us of our own company milestones. This milestone, though, I get to tell him about. He is every bit as excited as we are and knows great quality products we can customize and send for the gifts. Celebrate all your milestones with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
These jeans are woman size 34. That was a wake-up call for me. I'm 42, but my body felt like it was 90 years old. Found paired me with a team of clinicians and found the right medication. I'm down 78 pounds because of Found, and I'm just getting started. And because of Found, I have more confidence in myself. I'm actually in photos with my family. I'm getting my steps in each day. Found has changed my life. Go to joinfound.com just to see if the program's right for you.
There's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
Started when he ordered his Brunt work boots. He's going on about how they're comfortable as sneakers, but he never takes them off. With his buddies at night, I caught him in the shower, and he just goes, "What? They're waterproof."
Brunt, the tools you wear.
See everything your store can do with tools from Square. Your inventory automatically restocks, so you never run low. Your online store stays open 24/7, so you're always ready to sell. Your payments are processed in seconds, so customers can breeze through checkout. And with one account to manage it all, you've got more time for taking time out. Get your all-in-one retail system by signing up at square.com today.
Does it still count as ending the night with McDonald's if you order it for breakfast the morning after? I'm ordering either way. Order McDelivery in the app.
Over 30 million Americans don't know where their next meal is coming from. It could be anyone, even your neighbors. Let's break the cycle of hunger together, because everyone should be welcome at the table. Learn more at nourishingneighbors.com from Acme Markets, Balducci's, and King's Foundations.
I'm a doctor, but I can't think clearly anymore, so I can't do my job.
Long COVID causes debilitating cognitive issues.
I'm a runner, but now I can't walk 100 feet without getting exhausted.
Long COVID causes crippling fatigue that may last a lifetime.
I've lost friendships because of long COVID. I just don't feel well enough to see people.
People may look outwardly healthy, but they're suffering from a physical disorder that can upend lives.
Everything hurts. I can't even go out and play.
Up to 30% of COVID patients develop long COVID, and right now, there's no cure and little understanding.
I can't focus. I can't think straight. I can't keep a job.
So for those suffering daily, there's just one urgent question. How long?
How long? How long?
How long?
Until we solve long COVID. The Solve Long COVID initiative is bringing together patients, researchers, doctors, and drug developers to find answers now. To learn more and see how you can help, go to solvelongcovid.org.
The Michael K. Show holiday party. It returns a week from tonight, Friday, December 8th, at your mother's house in Garden City Park, Long Island. We're going to have plenty of giveaways for fans in attendance, including ticket packages from the Jets, the Knicks, the Rangers, and the Islanders, plus special guest appearances by Wally Zerbiak, Amani Toomer, Rick DiPietro, and more. So mark your calendars and get ready to spread some cheer at the Michael K. Show holiday party, Friday, December 8th, at your mother's house in Garden City Park, Long Island. It's brought to you by the New York Islanders, Jake's 58 Casino Hotel, Yingling Traditional Lager, and Flight by Yingling, the perfect beers for the holiday season. Security Dodge. Visit securitydodge.com and come get some selection, and it all benefits the Garden of Dreams Foundation. Hope you're all doing well. I wanted to give you game time. Brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. The Knicks are back in action tonight, squeaking by the Pistons yesterday. Pistons now lost 17 in a row. But they're back in action tonight. Up north to take on the Raptors, so back end of a back-to-back. Coverage starts at 7 right here on 98.7 ESPN. And the Devils face the Sharks at 7 in Newark. That's game time, brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. During the big games this season, enjoy Tullamore Dew, the original triple blended, triple distilled, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Remember, when it's game time, it's Tully time. Please enjoy responsibly. Please. Responsibly, guys. 1-800-919-3776. Let's go to JJ in North Carolina. JJ.
You know, guys, it's been an emotional couple of days. I just had my last college class ever. And
nice. That should be a good emotion.
Oh, yeah, no, it was good. I just was saying goodbye to a bunch of buddies I won't see again. So
they're really close. You'll never see them again.
Well, you know, it's hard when you're in different parts of the state and coming back. There's no reason to come back here. Really.
Come on, JJ. These are supposed to be forever friends you make in college. Come on, JJ.
That's true. I will.
All right.
Anyway, before I have a would ya, but I have a would ya at the end if you let me get to it. But I'm just so sick. I couldn't get through during the week. I'm so sick of these Giants fans complaining and renouncing their fanship. This one guy went viral on Twitter for it, complaining about how their team stinks. The Giants have been so mediocre and bad for so long. I'm sorry. Me and Peter has gone through this. My dad is a Jets fan. I'm a Bears fan. We literally have it's sick and disgusting, and you all should be ashamed of yourselves. You guys have won. Think about this. You have won a Super Bowl more recent than the Jets have made the playoffs. Okay, you guys have had historically good defenses, historically good offenses, and my Bears are literally the oldest franchise in the entire league and have yet to have a great quarterback in the entire league. Don's guy, Sid Luckman, he's not cutting it. Okay.
Sid Luckman's not cutting it?
92.
Sid Luckman doesn't cut it?
Not anymore.
No, but I mean, he's still a great quarterback.
I can't take it. These Giants fans are absolutely
wait a minute.
Just shut up.
And what are most Giant fans, Yankee fans? Have you listened to the show, Yankee fans complaining?
Yeah.
And how I had to deal with it as a Met fan, and the Yankees are winning 90-plus games every year, and they complain?
I agree. I'm not that kind of Yankee fan. I appreciate what they've done. I'm still a Yankee fan. I'm not going to renounce my fanship of them. And I've liked what they've done. Obviously, there's been some bad things with the teams recently, but I'm just saying, just cool it.
No,
okay,
you're 100% right. You're right. You have every right to say what you say and feel how you feel. This is
we literally have our best quarterback in our history is Jay Cutler. Okay, I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, but he was married to Kristen Cavallari.
So you got that.
That's true. Yeah. I mean,
everything's relevant.
I mean, really, think about it though. You got 86, you got 90. They're back again in the 2000. They go to a Super Bowl in 2000. They win again in 07. They win again in 11. It's still early in this decade. They basically win every decade. It's ridiculous.
My dad is 65 years old. The last time the Jets won a Super Bowl, he was 12. Anyway, about my would I wanted to get this in on Wednesday. Would you guys rather have a job you love, like the perfect job you love, everything is great, and you skip to work every day, it's an amazing job, but you have a good family, but you sadly pass away at 40 years old?
Oof.
Or would you rather have a job you hate and make amazing money and never have to want for anything? Your kids are taken care of, but you hate your job, you're miserable every day, but you die at 80. And your kids and their kids.
Give me a hard one.
Come on.
Take 80 with all the money and being miserable. Not even tough.
No, you got to make it a little bit like, all right, you have a job that you love and you die at 65, or a job you absolutely despise and live to 90. Maybe you'd have a little bit more of a debate, right, Peter? I mean,
I won't, Don, I'm going to say it to you, but we can't ask it to Michael. I wouldn't want to put him in this position where he has to lie. But the hard one you want to do is, would you have children and get to experience the joy of your children, but you drop dead in 5 years? Or no children, and you live gloriously to 105.
No children, 105.
I was hoping you would answer.
But if you have children and you drop dead in 5 years, that's not good for them either.
Yeah, but I mean, the option is you never get to meet them otherwise. So at least you got that time.
Yeah,
with them.
I'm all right. 105. I'll meet a lot of people.
Oh my! You know what?
Wow,
you can say a lot, Don. You can say a lot about Michael Kay, and there's a lot of horrifying things to say. Never say the man's not honest on that microphone, because most people would lie through their teeth there just because they want to seem like remotely civil human beings.
I'm a civil human. Why would I want to die in 5 years?
Don, you agree with what I'm saying? Most people would lie in that spot, wouldn't they?
Yes, Don, would. What's your answer to that?
Oh, come on.
Kids.
I already know the answer.
5
you
years
want to leave something behind? I mean, when you live 105 years, what do you got?
Yeah, but I could help a lot of people in other ways.
Yeah, but the one thing, I guess I know the answer. The one thing, like you'd hate to die. Nobody wants to die.
No one's a big fan of dying.
But the one comforting thing, if I were to pass, is that I left behind children that can carry my legacy. And in my son's situation, my name.
That was an appropriate time for someone to press some of Don's insane drops when you think about the LaGreca legacy. You know what I mean?
Right.
That should live on in eternity.
I'm just talking about not.
All right, so let me ask Peter, because he's the one who doesn't have kids yet. Would you like to have a kid within 9 months and die 5 years later at the age of 49, or would you rather not have children or live till 100?
This is now good. Now the thing is, though, I can easily get out with the 100 answer because I haven't met the child yet. It's a theoretical child. Now, truth be told, I'm honest with our audience here. I very much wanted children for a long time. I did not know I was going to have a life reset at 37 or 39, whatever it was. So I'm very eager to have children. But I guess right now, if it was like, hey, you want to be gone in 5 years or live a long, healthy life, I'd probably go with the latter. But, Don, that's because I haven't seen them yet. I haven't felt it yet. It's easier to escape it. You know what I mean?
Yes. I love my children like you can't believe it. But, I mean...
You love your children like you love Fresca. You know what I mean?
I don't love Fresca.
Guys, here's the thing that will shed light on just how bad a person Michael is. He just hasn't thought about it yet. The answer has to be the children. Because the other answer is that you never had the children.
Right.
Right? So, Michael, you would never have them. So this isn't a question that is asked to you before.
I get it. So you're telling me that when Callie was 5, I'd be dead, right? At the age of 57.
Yes.
Or if I didn't have my wonderful children, I'd live till 105. What good do I do those kids by being around till they're only 5? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Not good for them.
But now you're taking away their chance to live.
Well, it's like a factory up there. They'll be somebody else's kid.
All right, well, that's a nice way of looking. We don't know that.
That's the way I hear it.
That's the way you
like everybody's on an assembly line. Okay, Jody and Michael having a kid. Bloop. Oh, that was Callie. Oh, have another one. Bloop. It was Charlie. And if it wasn't
Right.
Michael and Jody, then it would have been like Saul and Letitia. Boop, the kid came down.
I know for a fact. I don't know a lot about science. Well, I know what you're saying is not correct.
Well, we don't know.
I'm 100% certain that's false, what you just said.
Let's go to Adam in Brooklyn. Adam.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
You got it, man. What's up?
First, I want to say I think Don is an amazing hockey announcer.
Oh, thank you.
And just want to let him know I'm a suffering Jet fan. I'll just add it. I'm also a Bruins fan, so you could imagine what I'm going through. My question to you is, what made the Jets think when they got Aaron Rodgers and Rodgers was in camp and all this talk was about how great they were going to be and blah, blah, blah. Zach's going to hold the clip forward for 2 years, maybe 3 years, and by that time, Zach will be serviceable, if anything. What made them think 4 snaps into the season that Zach was ready? Did he learn all that stuff he needs to learn?
You know why,
in the
Adam? Because they were delusional. And why they were delusional, we can sit here and break it down for the next 3.5 hours, but it comes down to he was the number 2 pick. They're trying to save their backside. They don't want to look as bad as they look for picking a quarterback that's bad with the number 2 pick in the draft. They could have had Micah Parsons, by the way, but that's the only reason. And they didn't want to spend more money on a good backup while they still owe Zach Wilson $10 million. They never thought that Rodgers was going to get hurt in 4 plays, ever. Nobody did.
All right, but let's play this out. All right, if they said they never imagined he'd get hurt, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So then that means the entire 3rd year of Zach Wilson's career, he'd be riding the pine.
Right.
So were they going to give him the 5th-year option?
No way.
So what are you saving? Like, you wanted to save face by having him be the backup, but if the plan went according to the way you planned it out, he would have never played. You don't give him the 5th-year option, he's probably gone. So what exactly were you trying to accomplish?
It was professional malfeasance.
But so I don't think it was Joe Douglas. Joe Douglas is smart enough to realize that the kid's not good enough, and we're probably not going to give him the 5th-year option. We're going to be looking for a way to get out of this after he didn't play for an entire year because we'd have no idea if anything that Aaron Rodgers taught him took. So it would have to be, I would think, either Woody or Aaron that said, no, we're keeping Zach, and I want him to be the backup. Because it made no sense for Joe Douglas to do it. Unless you're telling me Joe Douglas was going to give him the 5th-year option and sign him to a long-term contract. Because mistake, correct me if I'm wrong again, they anticipated Aaron Rodgers was going to play a 2nd year.
Yeah, you know what? I disagree with you, though, bud. I really do. I think this was Joe Douglas. We want to put everything on Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers said, well, I'll try to fix this guy. I think I can. But Joe Douglas is trying to protect his legacy. He doesn't want to release a 2nd pick in the draft after 3 years. He just doesn't want to do it.
But again, what are you going to do anyway? If Rodgers plays 2023 and 2024, which was the plan, and never gets hurt, then you were going to have to give Zach Wilson a contract in order for him to be your quarterback in 2026. Were they going to give him a quarterback after 2 years of putrid play and then 2 years of not playing at all?
No, but I think they had no intention of keeping him here long term, but they felt, like, you know what, we could get a backup quarterback out of it for 2 years. And that was a bad play. They just didn't want to release the guy, Don. It made them look ridiculous.
But
that will
what does
forever
this
be a
make them look
stain
like?
on his legacy.
But what does this make them look like?
It makes them look worse because they gambled and they lost. They gambled that Rodgers would not be out for a long period of time. And now he's out the entire season.
But he still has egg all over his face because you can't make a bad pick look good.
Yeah.
The smart general managers realize, I made a mistake, let's get out.
Like the bad managers did.
The bad general managers double down, hoping it'll turn out to be great, and then make things worse. Everybody's entitled to make a mistake. But when you start doubling down on that mistake, that's when it's a disaster. That's how jobs are lost.
All right, we'll come back. We'll take more phone calls, 1-800-919-3776. But first, Peter, Dodge.
All right, here we go. It's a big responsibility to be a designer. Dagny Dover is a bag brand based in New York City, founded by 3 women. We make hyper-functional, performance-driven bags. That's like a mouthful. We're all about getting the most out of life. When you're organized and you have your things together, you feel good. And when you feel good, you can live life intentionally. Oh, it's pronounced Dagny Dover. Dagny means new dawn. It's a new dawn for fashion.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always. Sign up today and get free chicken wings for a year. ButcherBox.
The path to business success is often unpredictable. Managing your bank account doesn't need to be. Find your flow with powerfully smooth banking that keeps you focused on bringing your vision to life. The simplest decision is often the right one. Introducing IO, the company credit card that offers 1.5% cash back on everything and streamlines card management.
You've heard our story before. In some ways, it's yours. It's the one about rolled up sleeves, measuring twice, cutting once, and building something you're proud to put your name behind. What are we building? A different kind of workwear, inspired by the values of those who put in the work. They're the reason we make boots that feel as good at 6 p.m. as they did at 6 a.m. They're the best you've ever worked in, or we'll take them back. Brunt, the tools you wear. Try us on the job for 30 days risk-free.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
Welcome to the Athletic Basketball Show. Folks, the league is in absolute chaos. Players going off pretty much every other playing picture that, when it clears, could leave a few future Hall of Famers. It might all come down to some rookie taking free throws. Is on pace to break the all.
The Athletic. Subscribe today.
We just signed the lease on our 3rd shop. I guess we're a chain now, right? We worked so hard to get here. My assistant went to CustomInk.com to get our new uniforms and merch with all the location names. Our custom gear helps him get our brand out into the community. He takes care of all of our Custom Ink orders. He was able to find great products, upload the new art, and have boxes sent directly to each of the shops. Custom Ink makes it so easy. Get started today at CustomInk.com.
Does it still count as ending the night with McDonald's if you order it for breakfast the morning after? I'm ordering either way. Order McDelivery in the app.
We have got to be here. We've got to be strong to protect those rights.
For over 100 years, the ACLU has fought for everyone to have a voice and equal justice. And we will never stop. Because we, the people, means all of us. To learn more about defending our democracy, go to myaclu.org today.
My dad, he's a double amputee, and he's one of my favorite people in the world. To me, a hero is someone who fights for our country and freedom. My dad is a hero. Homes for Our Troops built this house, and it's basically made for him. My dad can get through the wide doorways. When he is making our lunch, he can reach anything we need. He'll help me build tiny projects. Life is good here. Without Homes for Our Troops, we'd be living in a home that didn't have all these features that helped him.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post-9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives.
If they get a new house like this one, it'll help them do normal life. My dad's not just a hero, he's my hero.
Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
Football Fridays on 98.7 ESPN is brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 1-800-919-3776. Let's go to our good friend Cullum in the Bronx. Cullum.
Michael, Donald, Peter, what's going on?
How you doing?
What's up?
Good. So I wanted to make mention of the Yankees' addition of, what is his name? Oscar
Gonzalez.
Hernandez, I believe? Oscar Gonzalez. Yeah, I mean, that seems like going to be one of the best off-season additions. All they really need to do is add that, old, aging, injury-prone pitcher. They need to add that relief pitcher that's good for 3 months.
Wait a minute, Colin. I know you're trying to be cute, but you think, it's not even the winter meetings. What do you want them to do? They're trying to get Juan Soto, trying to get Yamamoto. You can't speed it up.
No, I'm not asking to speed it up. I just don't like the talks of them actually being in the conversation to make those plays when they haven't made a real move and they don't really make big moves anymore. It's just like I want this conversation to be the reality of it.
You're wrong. They don't make moves. I mean,
a
couple of years ago, they signed the best pitcher in baseball, just won a Cy Young. Last year, they went and got Carlos Rodon, where 8 pitchers, 8 teams wanted him desperately, and he signed a 6-year deal with the Yankees.
That was a terrible move. That was a terrible move.
First year, but you're saying that they don't make any good moves. They signed Aaron Judge last year to a 9-year contract. What would you have said if they let him go?
And that was a bad move because they should have signed him earlier, and then they ended up.
But it's not your money. It's not your money. What do you care?
I know it's not mine. No, I just want the conversation to
Are you a
be
Yankee fan?
I am a Yankee fan.
Then you know what? Then you can't be happy. Then you can't be happy, can you? So they're trying to get Soto and they're trying to get Yamamoto. That's not good enough for you.
No. I want them to get them. I just don't think it's reality.
Why is it not reality?
They don't make the good, correct moves. If they're going to make a move, it's going to be somebody that we don't expect. Everybody's going to hype it up, and they're going to turn out to not. They're not going to work out.
I'm going to play this game because I'm just in the mood for it. 2 years ago, they were in the American League Championship Series. They had a terrible, disastrous season last year. You're acting like they've been bad for the last 20 years, Colin. I know they haven't won a World Series since 2009, but what's your bitch? What's your problem? That they're so terrible. Every move they make is bad. What is it? Jose Trevino was a bad pickup?
What is he now? Is he even going to be on the team?
Goodbye, bud. I'm in too good of a mood. I don't want to hear this crap.
You sound like I can tell.
Why do we do it? Why do we do it? Why do we do it? It's an NFL Friday. It's not even the winter meetings.
It's Michael's fault.
You know it's going to be a call complaining about the Yankees. It gets Michael upset.
I'm not upset. Yep. I mean, I'm not.
But you're just screaming at guys. They're just trying to get your goat, man.
I'm not going to make him just direct the narrative.
I'm sorry.
He's wrong.
But Peter's right. Don't take the trolls. They're trolling you. Don't take them. It's a football Friday. There's no reason to take them. If it's a week before the season and they didn't do anything, we haven't even hit the winter meetings yet. Nobody's made a huge trade. Nobody's made a huge signing. And they're already complaining because we allow them to troll us. It's on us. That's our problem. They shouldn't be on hold and they shouldn't be taken. It's our fault. It's a football Friday. We got football to talk about. Baseball will get its time. Yankee fans will have their chance to bitch for 8 months. Leave us alone. Give us some damn peace.
I mean, the line that he said, Cullum might have to be put on ice for a while. I don't like that they're going after these guys because they're not going to get them. Really? So you never asked out a pretty girl? Because you didn't think you were going to get her? I mean, what a miserable way to be a fan, Cullum. A miserable way to be a fan. Every move they make is bad. Come on. Sebastian Maniscalco coming to Madison Square Garden on Wednesday, September 18th and Thursday, September 19th of 2024.
Yeah, I can't wait.
ESPN New York has your chance to score tickets today on the Michael K. Show. Brought to you by Live Nation. Tickets are on sale right now at Ticketmaster.com. How about this? Sebastian Maniscalco, the great Maniscalco, is going to join us on Tuesday. I believe 4:15, right, Anthony? 4:15. Sebastian Maniscalco. That's an A-list guest.
Wow. That's big.
That's a big guest.
He was at the Ranger game the other night.
Really? Did you say hello?
No, they just had him on the Jumbotron. He's on Celebrity Roll. I'm working on the bridge. Just going to swing by and say hello?
Well, I mean...
You saying you're working on the bridge makes it sound like a totally different job altogether.
No, I'm just trying to give you where I am in relation to Celebrity Roll.
I'm picturing him outside with a hard hat, a hoagie, a cigarette.
Yeah, I'm painting the Whitestone Bridge. What's that commercial that they were?
Don, I think that you're going to have to... You're going to have to sit it out at 4:30, by the way. Because we have on Buster Only, setting up the winter meetings on Monday. I know you don't want to talk any baseball on a football Friday, but we have Buster on them.
No. You're throwing it back. That was a mistake.
What's a mistake?
Taking Cullum. Now, if you want to talk with me, but you know that they're trolling. Why would you take a troll? You know he's trolling you.
I didn't know. I had no idea. He wasn't trolling me. I believe that is really his opinion, Don. Every time that somebody says something, it's not a troll. I believe that's how he thinks, which is unfortunate.
No, but that could be a troll too. Just a guy that wants to call and complain about the Yankees.
I don't believe you. I think that is a segment of fans that feel that way.
Right.
That's not a troll. They're not trying to get me upset. I'm just upset because I can't believe
that's exactly why they're trying. They're trying to get you upset, Mike, because it's not even on topic. It's not what we're talking about.
But you can talk about whatever you want when you call.
I understand, but let's get Michael's goat. They know how you're going to react to it.
No, Anthony, you took that. You think that was about getting my goat, or he really thinks that?
No, I truly look.
Both could be true, is my point.
So what? So he gets my goat. What's the big deal?
It just aggravates me.
That's his take. Cullum believes that the Yankees will never make the right move.
Okay, so
he doesn't trust.
You know what? Enjoy your life, Cullum.
What did it say on the screen?
I believe I put Yankees get Oscar Gonzalez, and then I interpreted. I'm pretty sure he's trying to say he doesn't think the Yankees are going to make any more moves.
Okay.
Which is basically what his point was. He doesn't think that he thinks they're done.
Well, you know, he must be a seer, a soothsayer. On December 1st, he knows they're not going to make any moves. There have been 3 pitchers that have signed, Sonny Gray and the 2 other guys the Cardinals signed. Well, every big free agent has not come off the board, but the Yankees are the team that's not going to do anything, according to Cullum. Wow, what a miserable, miserable existence you live. Really, that you think like that. As Don said so beautifully, on March 30th, when they didn't make anything but add Oscar Gonzalez, then call up and go have at it. But you're making that phone call on December 1st. That makes you the disturbed one. We'll be back. But first, Don is going to tell us.
There's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
I was tired of being told by my doctor that my weight was always the root of my problems. Found changed that. I'm down 78 pounds because of Found, and I'm just getting started. Found paired me with a team of clinicians and found the right medication. Their team of behavioral experts helped me to make lasting changes. Finally, I found a program that fits my lifestyle, improved my health, helped me reclaim my confidence. Try it out. Head to joinfound.com to start.
Welcome to the Athletic Basketball Show. Folks, the league is in absolute chaos. Players going off pretty much every other playing picture that, when it clears, could leave a few future Hall of Famers. It might all come down to some rookie taking free throws. Scoring is on pace to break the The Athletic. Subscribe today.
All right, here we go. It's a big responsibility to be a designer. Dagny Dover is a bag brand based in New York City, founded by 3 women. We make hyper-functional, performance-driven bags. That's like a mouthful. We're all about getting the most out of life. When you're organized and you have your things together, you feel good. And when you feel good, you can live life intentionally. Oh, It's pronounced Dagny Dover. Dagny means new dawn. It's a new dawn for fashion.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
Startups move fast. You need a bank that can keep up.
I love how easy it is to use.
The design, in general.
The interface is incredibly user-friendly.
The ability to easily see all of the transactions and search the history of them.
I really like the analytics that you see on the dashboard. It's like seeing your business in HD.
Getting started was maybe one of the most delightful onboarding experiences I've had.
I can just log in, send a wire, check my balance, and move on with my life.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
Your favorite thing delivered right to your door means that you never have to stop doing your other favorite thing. Nailed it. Order McDelivery in the app.
Admit, you cannot learn.
Every child deserves to be fed. This is a problem we know how to solve. Food is not just food. It's energy, health, confidence, hope, and even love. Yes, love.
Breakfast in the classroom contributes to kids being more focused, which leads to higher grades, and simply just their well-being.
Learn more about how No Kid Hungry is helping end child hunger in America at helpnokidhungry.org.
Dear Santa, I hope you are having a good day in the North Pole. Is it cold all the time there? Is that why your cheeks are so rosy? My mom says I'm a good helper, but you didn't come last year. Was my chimney broken? I just really hope this year when I wake up, I'm gonna see that you came to my house too. Wow.
Donate and help the Marines deliver hope to a child in need.
Show me what you're cooking. Oh, let me see them moves. You got the whole world looking like the same kind of magic taking hold of you.
Yes on TV, then you get the Yes app for free. Download now.
Oh, yeah. What a first hour. That one goes right to the Marconi people. Really does. The Knicks with a win yesterday. Got a little hairy, more than you want against a team that lost 16 in a row, but they've got some good players. I think the Pistons will be good in a couple of years. Right now, they're not. But, I don't think we should be grading the Knicks on style points, everybody. Win is a win is a win. They had a 4-game homestand. They went 3-1. The game they lost was on a last-second great shot by Devin Booker. So the Knicks, I think, are playing very, very well. I'm intrigued to see how they do tonight against Toronto on a back-to-back. And then on Tuesday in Milwaukee in the play-in tournament. That's going to be an interesting play because Milwaukee's better. That's a team that's in front of them. That's not on the Knicks level. It's a higher level. Can the Knicks pick it up and play a great game, a perfect game, and knock them off and move to Vegas? I don't know. We'll see. But if you're a Knicks fan, I don't think there's much you could really complain about this year. They played pretty well. Another great game by Brunson yesterday and almost a triple-double by Randall. They kept DiVincenzo in the entire fourth quarter. He had 3 big threes. They're a good team. They are. Are they one of the best teams? No. But I'd say they're in the top 10 in the NBA. Wouldn't you agree, Don?
Yeah, their ceiling is, I think, a 3 seed in the conference and maybe get a couple of wins in the postseason round-wise. I think that's their ceiling. 3 seed conference final.
I would agree.
Probably maybe be a 4 seed and get bounced in the second round, like somewhere in that range. Unless they make some sort of a move or something emerges or there's an injury to one of the other teams. They're not the Celtics, they're not the Bucks. Now, I understand that the Bucks are a little bit behind them, but I think the Bucks will find it. And the Sixers are interesting because will they be able to maintain? So that's why I think it could be between 3 and 4. Between the Bucks and the Sixers, I think somebody might fall off. I don't think they're the Celtics, though.
I don't think the Bucks or the Sixers. The Sixers' success makes me so happy because it just makes James Harden look so bad. Tyrese Maxey is an absolute stud, and that's why Joel Embiid is not going to ask to be traded. To play with a guy like Maxey, he's done an unbelievable job. I think those 3 teams that you mentioned, Don, are the class of the league. And then the Knicks have to battle a couple of other teams to be the number 4 team. I don't think they're the number 3 team. I think they could be the number 4 team.
Now, there's some interesting stories. Like the Pacers have been an interesting story. Like they're going to have to really keep it going. But you got to like them. And it's not like they hadn't faced adversity. R.J. Barrett's missed time. You had Randall basically be ineffective for the first, almost felt like 7-8 games of the season. But when they're clicking, they're a really good basketball team.
And they have a great bench, which tells you something.
And it's applied quickly. See, the dilemma is quickly because, what's going to end up happening with him long term. But he comes off the bench. He's been, consistent. I don't know what averaging, around 20 points, right? He's coming off the bench. As you said, DiVincenzo's been good. Hartenstein's been really good when he comes in for Robinson. They've got a really nice team.
And they've got guys on the bench that don't even play that are good. I mean, Evan Fournier would start on a lot of teams in the NBA. He doesn't even play. He doesn't get a sniff. So I think the Knicks have done well. Now, on the other side of the ledger, if you're the Nets, you can't lose that game. I mean, Charlotte is dreadful. They're dreadful. Their best player might be out for the whole season, and you lose that game at home. And then, because it's the Nets and we don't give them as much play, the Simmons deal, I mean, good. He's missed 11 games already.
Oh.
And Jacques Vaughn said yesterday, we'll have more information on Saturday. Now, if you're delaying it till Saturday to tell us what's wrong with the guy, it's probably not good information, right?
I mean, if people have to be delusional to keep trotting out Zach Wilson, how do you describe what it is to still have hope for Ben Simmons?
Because Ben Simmons, it's a good question, Peter, but Ben Simmons has proven when healthy, he's an effective NBA player. He's a great defender and a good ball distributor.
When healthy.
Yeah, well, when he's healthy, he's a good player, I think. He's just never healthy.
But what do you mean by healthy, too? Because there have been times when he seemed to be physically healthy but couldn't play anymore.
Well, I mean, he had supposedly had mental issues that he had to get through, which he has, and then he had back surgery. So I don't think he's faking it. He's just unable to stay healthy. So, I mean, it's just they got another year of this guy at over $40 million. That was a bad trade for Harden. Awful. That's one of those things where you tell Harden you either play for us or you don't play.
You know what's remarkable? In 17-18 and 18-19, Ben Simmons averaged 16-8 his rookie year, 17-8 his second year. In 2019, he was 16 points and 8 assists, and then a bit down in 2020 before he came to the Nets, but still 14 and 7. Since then, it's been nothing. He's never been close. He missed an entire year. He's played a combined 48 games since he got here, and he's averaged 7 points a game. But, Michael, think about that, the deal that he pulled, given kind of what he'd shown and then what he's shown since. It's one of the great coups in player history.
Oh, it's a great contract. It's a terrible contract for the team, but somehow the Sixers were able to move it. And then, they got stuck with Harden. But Ben Simmons can play when he's healthy. And again, you hope that it's a.
But Michael, that's starting to be such a long time ago.
I know.
I mean,
you're right.
What do you mean? I mean, can he play? I mean, Don, do you hear what I'm saying? I can play. I can knock down 3-pointers. I haven't hit one in 7 years.
I think because of the injuries, I don't know if you can really honestly think, Michael, that you can tap back into that again. Maybe
when he played at the beginning of this year, he played well.
But then he's hurt again.
I get it.
I don't think there's any question when I say tap into it, just meaning that he's going to give you 65, 70 games a year. I don't think he's capable of doing that anymore.
It's
and
a
if
shame.
you do it, great, fine. Can you plan on it?
I mean, For the record, though, Michael, even in the games this year that you liked how he played, and he did give them 10 rebounds a game and 7 assists, it's 6 points. Now, this is not who the guy was supposed to be, even when it's a good version of him.
Well, the worst...
He just doesn't pull the trigger anymore.
You know why? The worst part about him, other than the injuries, I mean, he's a dreadful free throw shooter who always has the ball in his hand. I mean, if you're a center like Mitchell Robinson, you can't shoot free throws, you can live with it. This guy is distributing the ball. He's got the ball in his hand all the time. He is going to go to the line. So, I mean, that was a deal where the Nets had to get rid of Harden. He wanted to go to Philly, and they had to make the salaries match, and they took this guy back. Because the Nets, for the most part, have some good players on their team. And if they had Ben Simmons healthy, and I know what the guys are saying, that's like wishing upon a star. If they had him healthy, they'd be a playoff team, or at least a play-in team. But they're battling, scratching, and clawing to be at 500, and he's missed 11 games. And they say it's a left lower back nerve impingement. It has nothing to do with the surgery. Really? He had surgery on the back. Now there's an impingement in the back, but it has nothing to do with the surgery. Okay. I'll play along.
You'll play along. I knew it.
We've been together a while.
Yeah.
Let's go to Louis in New Jersey. Louis.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up?
This is something to do with basketball. I call to tell you I'm 80, not because I know more than you, I saw more. And my wife thinks I'm nuts calling. I want to tell you what I heard the other day, and this really bothers me. Right. I'm watching Kevin Smith with Russo, and his guy comes on a couple of days a week, big ex-ball player. Now, his opinion is this. I went nuts. Mahomes is the best quarterback ever, and the tight end is the best quarterback ever. How can you make that statement when you see the new rules with that? I can't believe you said that.
Well, I mean, it's hard to now. I hear what you're saying. It's hard to, compare generations because the rules were different. But I don't think it's that outrageous to say that Patrick Mahomes is one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, and that Travis Kelce is one of the greatest tight ends ever. With the rules that they play under, they're extraordinary.
Yeah, I mean, you can make your case about how the rules make it an unfair comp, and I think all of us can say, sure, we hear you. But for someone to watch the kid play football and say, I've never seen anyone play quarterback like that, it's the best I've ever seen, and to say the same about Kelce, Don, you'd agree, it's an argument you can absolutely have. It's not a crazy argument.
But to talk about the tight end position, I think is a lot. It's kind of unfair what he's saying, because really the tight end has emerged into a legitimate threat. I'd say over what, Peter, the last
20 years,
25 years, something like that. So I think you can say they're the best because the guys back in the past they weren't utilized like this. But it's all just part of the game. Game always evolves. There's always going to be that caveat. What would he have done if he played in that era? Same thing. Could Ruth play today? But to say that Patrick Mahomes is not one of the best quarterbacks ever because of the era he plays in, I think is completely unfair.
Let's go to Anthony in Glen Cove.
Hey, how you guys doing? Let's put a smile on your faces. It's Football Friday, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Let's smile.
All right, I got two things. One, the first thing being, would you guys bring back Joe Douglas?
Yeah. Unless you're getting rid of everybody, including Rodgers, I would bring back Douglas, because if you get another GM, doesn't he deserve to have his own coach?
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
So you'd bring him back too?
And then I would bring him back if you're bringing back Rodgers, which I feel like they already have their chips in place for that. So at that point, you got to tie them both together. So I guess he will be back, right?
I think they're going to run it back. So I don't think they're making any changes.
The greatest job security for Douglas and Saleh is number 8.
But I think there's more security for Douglas than Saleh, just because Saleh's a defensive guy. So if they wanted to make the change, maybe Rodgers wouldn't complain about it as much. But changing a general manager when you're trying to win right now. Because it takes a general manager like a year or two to put his own imprint on the team. Rodgers doesn't have that kind of time. But if they were saying, I think I want to let Saleh go, I don't think Rodgers would fight as much, unless he just really loves him. But how much does Saleh really impact Rodgers?
I think he really likes him.
Well, then he's going to stay, most likely.
Let's go to Eric in Clifton.
Hi, guys. I was telling the call screener that I said I think it's that Robert Saleh has gotten like the biggest raw deal I can remember, because I was telling, I'm an Eagles fan, and I saw how close Andy Reid had come all those years, but I didn't think McNabb was that guy. And then to see Andy Reid go to the Chiefs and pair up with Mahomes, it's like football, so many moving parts. It's like one can't survive without the other. And I think Salah is just like such a great face of the franchise guy, always calm and collected and good with the media. And all he needs is like a solid offensive coordinator and a semblance of a quarterback. And I just think he got such a bad deal in New York.
I tend to agree with you, Eric. I don't think that anybody in their right mind could really, really judge Salah off the last couple of years. Now, I don't know how much of Salah's fingerprints were on picking Zach Wilson, but the selection of Zach Wilson started this downtrend with this organization. I'm going to say another thing, Don and Peter. You might disagree.
Right.
Everybody's jumping Nathaniel Hackett. Hasn't had a quarterback all year. And they jumped LaFleur last year. He just got an extension with the Rams. They like him so much over there. You can't judge an offensive coordinator if they don't have a quarterback. Zach Wilson has been a terrible quarterback, and you're judging Nathaniel Hackett. And I know what people are going to say. Well, he was terrible last year with Broncos. He wasn't the offensive coordinator. Robert Saleh's not the defensive coordinator of the Jets. He's the CEO of the Jets. Nathaniel Hackett was the CEO of the Broncos.
To defend us, though, we haven't really been going after Hackett.
But
that
the
much.
fan base has.
Well, yeah, and Orlovsky certainly did. I mean, on this show, we've been of the mindset that there's no one who can play quarterback.
Orlovsky's got, he's almost got no choice but to criticize Hackett. He's been so complimentary of Zach, and if you're not scoring points and doing anything and eventually getting benched, then it's got to be somebody's fault. It's either Hackett or it's the quarterback. But the thing is, the quarterback stunk last year under a different offensive coordinator who just got an extension with LA. So, do I think Hackett's done a great job? No, I think you got to be a little bit better than this. But I think when you're this epically bad, there's usually more than just one reason. Offensive line is stunk, quarterback is stunk, play calling is stunk, everything has been awful.
Let's go to Janine in Colonia. Janine.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. I actually wanted to make this call a couple weeks ago, but I couldn't get through. I just always wanted to say how much I agree with Don on the tanking thing. I'm a Giants fan, and I just physically can't do it. Like I could never watch a game and just root against them. I know it's better if they lose for the draft, but I just couldn't do it. And I always wanted to let Don know, I'm so with you on that.
Well, I appreciate that. I can't do it either.
But you know what it allows you to do, Janine? You're in a no-lose situation. If you're a Giant fan, you shouldn't root for them to lose. But if they lose, the good part is, you know what? We're going to get a good draft pick. That's the way you have to look at it. But to sit there and root for them to lose, I don't get that.
Yeah, I can't do that either. I don't know anyone who can actually do that.
No, I agree. Exactly. I mean, the middle of the draft, we need to do better anyway. I mean, the fact that we took Kadarius Toney over Parsons still makes me physically sick.
It should. Did you see him last night? Yeah. Oh my God, he is.
How about that last play?
Yeah.
I mean, he's beyond the good. I don't know what Micah Parsons is. He's the best. He's incredible.
And if you allow me, just one more thing, sure. Don. You doing the Knicks games? Great.
Oh, thank you.
Really.
I really appreciate that. That means a lot. You're a Knicks fan?
Yeah, excellent. Big Knicks fan. I just put some money on quickly winning the sixth man, so see how that goes.
Well, listen, it's early, but you go out there averaging 20 points coming off the bench at times the way he has. There's a very good possibility of that.
Now, speaking of the Knicks tonight, it's being listed that Julius Randle is questionable with right knee inflammation. This is a guy who plays all the time, so I don't know exactly what that means, but he plays all the time.
I know. Well, he played right down almost to the nub against the Hornets because of the stupid point differential thing. You hope it didn't happen then.
Let's go to Anthony in New Jersey. Anthony.
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
How are you? Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Michael, I love when you're fired up. I actually want more of those polls.
Oh, it's great.
Okay.
And other thing I got to tell you is, you should make that guy's wife a really happy Christmas there. Give her a little tweet of a bathing suit picture.
Oh, the thirst trap.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe I'll just set up an OnlyFans account.
That's
just
it.
For her.
Maybe the toes account.
Yeah.
I know.
I like the way you think, Anthony. Let's go to another Anthony. in his mail truck. What's up, Anthony?
What's going on, gentlemen? How we doing?
How are you doing?
Good. So I just kind of wanted to piggyback off of what you guys have said all week. I haven't been able to get on. So this Rodgers thing, the other day Peter said it perfectly, I think. I just think we all know that it's all about him, right? But I think that he's not going to come back this year, obviously. And I think that he just wants it to be known that he was able to come back. And he's not going to, but he was able to. I just wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on that as well.
Well, you know what, Anthony? If they win Sunday and they win next week, well, then, the rubber meets the road. Let's see if he's really able to, because if he's able to go, he should be playing in that Miami game.
See, that will be really interesting because I don't think they'd beat the Dolphins. Do you?
With him.
You can, that's debatable, but you could see a road of beating Atlanta. Houston's really good, but they do turn the ball over. They haven't played great recently, so all right, you can wrap your mind around those two wins, but to beat Miami, I think would be tough. So, but he is threatening to come back for Miami. So if you lose to Miami, that'd be your 8th loss. They'd still be alive for the Commanders game, even with a Miami loss.
But they have to win the next two.
But they'd have to win the next two because I don't see them beating Miami. And then if you come back with the Commanders with 9 losses, that would seem silly that he would play.
Well, listen up, Jet fans. Coming up in the 5 p.m. hour, it's your chance to score a pair of Jets tickets for this Sunday's matchup against the Falcons. We've been talking about it. It's brought to you by the New York Jets. Limited seats are available for the biggest matchups at MetLife Stadium this season. Grab your tickets at nyjets.com/tickets and get ready to bring the noise. The great champ, Buster Olney, will join us in just a moment. The winter meetings start in Nashville on Monday, and it should be a very active winter meetings. So we'll get the lay of the land from Buster when he comes on in a moment. But first, Peter has to tell us about family.
Can a handyman fix my leaky faucet?
How much does it cost to have my HVAC checked?
How do I know I have mold?
What do water pipes freeze?
Home questions don't have to keep you up at night. Get peace of mind with Thumbtack. We'll connect you with local pros for any home project, from a small fix to a big remodel. See transparent prices, read verified reviews, and book with just a tap. Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
For far too long, millions of Americans have been strapping on uncomfortable work boots pushed by out-of-touch corporate types. Hey! To design boots and apparel that hardworking men and women actually want, you have to get on the job site and listen.
And that's why Brunt names gear after guys like us.
Apart from making our boots and apparel innovative, reliable, and insanely comfortable, we back all of our gear with a 30-day on-the-job risk-free trial. You deserve better. You deserve Brunt.
Try any of Brunt's gear on the job for 30 days risk-free.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always. Sign up today and get free chicken wings for a year. ButcherBox.
Startups move fast. You need a bank that can keep up.
I love how easy it is to use.
The design, in general.
The interface is incredibly user-friendly.
The ability to easily see all of the transactions and search the history of them.
I really like the analytics that you see on the dashboard. It's like seeing your business in HD.
Getting started was maybe one of the most delightful onboarding experiences I've had.
I can just log in, send a wire, check my balance, and move on with my life.
I'm Jessie Dover, co-founder of Dagny Dover. New York isn't for the faint of heart. The gear you carry around not only has to look good, but it has to work even better. That's why we create bags like the Landon Carryall, a bag that allows organizational junkies like me to be ready for whatever life brings. A bag that allows me to feel good about the things I carry. After all, this city is a reflection of who I am, purposeful, resilient, and ready to face whatever comes my way.
Did you see that? Yep. Looks like rain. Also looks like McDelivery. Order McDelivery in the app.
I bet all of your reindeer are very excited. All right, guys. Is your beard long? My dad's is scratchy. My mom says I'm a good helper. But you didn't come last year. Was my chimney broken? Or did you forget? I do that sometimes. I just really hope this year when I wake up, I'm gonna see that you came to my house too.
Donate to Toys for Tots and help the Marines deliver hope to a child in need.
If anyone knows the joy of rescuing animals, it's me. Just ask my rescues, who are all very important members of my family. Your life can also be forever changed by adopting a shelter pet. And it's not just about happiness your pet gets from finding a loving home, but that which you'll get from bringing them into your life. The heroes at American Humane have been helping animals for more than 140 years, whether it's rescuing animals caught in disasters, ensuring the safety of animal stars on the screen, or protecting our planet's endangered species. They go above and beyond to further their mission and make the world a kinder place for animals. Please consider adopting a shelter pet and support American Humane. You can learn more at AmericanHumane.org.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. December 1st, full speed ahead into the holidays. And next week, full speed ahead into the winter meetings. And the big names are still on the board. And rumors with trades and all that. So we thought we'd check in a weekend before with our good friend Buster Only as he joins us now. Buster, it's Michael, Don, and Peter. How you doing?
What's going on?
You tell me. So who do you think is the name most likely to come off the board first?
Well, I think that Soto will be the first big name to be traded, and I think Ohtani's going to make his decision sometime in the next 96 hours. And I do think, as I told you guys, a few weeks ago, Soto is going to get traded, and I think the Yankees are in a great position to get him because of the salary, because there's so few teams who are going to be willing to take on a player making $33 million and give up prospects and watch that player walk away as a free agent as a client of Scott Boras. A few years ago when the Red Sox traded Mookie Betts, there was a lot of criticism. They didn't get a great package. The reality of that situation, Mookie was a year from free agency, and the fact is the Red Sox didn't have a lot of choices. There weren't a lot of teams involved in that bidding, and the Padres are in the exact same situation right now with Juan Soto. There's not going to be a wide range of teams out there saying, yeah, we're willing to give up a bunch of players and pay that kind of salary. So I do think the Yankees, in the end, are in a good position. We'll see if another team jumps in. And Ohtani, look, folks who know him really believe that he's known for a long time where he wants to go. But, his agent, Nez Valelo, has to do the dog and pony show to try to goose the bidding. We'll see where he winds up. I thought all along that the Dodgers were the favorite, and, we'll see. Is the specter of him signing with the Toronto Blue Jays real? I don't know for sure, but I think he in the end winds up going with a team in a warm market.
Just going back to Soto for a second, Buster. So the only positive for the Red Sox that they got out of the Betts deal was they piggybacked David Price's salary. Could the Yankees do that with Stanton and maybe eat some of Stanton's salary? Because I know that the reason they're trading Soto is because they have to shed money. Is there any way the Yankees could piggyback a salary if they give them a top-flight prospect?
Well, I think it'd be really hard because, of course, Stanton has a full no-trade clause, and he would control that process. I wondered about that too. Like, would they be able to? Is there some sort of salary that they could take on to even it out? And maybe they would work something else out. The one thing that another thing that bodes well, I think, for the Yankees is that the Padres, from what everyone says, they're looking for cheap major leaguers. Their general manager A.J. Preller has been there a long time, and his patron saint was Peter Seidler, who just passed away recently. And the perception in the industry is that A.J. essentially has 1 year to prove it to the new stewards of the Padres, and so he needs to have a good year. He can't trade Soto for a bunch of 17, 18-year-olds. He's going to be looking for guys who are in the cusp of the big leagues or already big leaguers, and the Yankees actually have a decent array of those type of guys.
This just doesn't feel like a Brian Cashman move to me, though. So would it be coming from Hal, or would Brian thinking differently?
No, I would agree with you, except I think that they're just under a special kind of pressure right now. And Soto, let's face it, would absolutely check every single box. Left-handed hitter, patience, track record, all of that. And as I mentioned, I think that the price tag, as we saw with the Dodgers in the bet situation, didn't turn out to be that high. I think it's going to be a similar situation here where folks are going to, remember what the Padres gave up to get Soto, and they're going to look at the package the Padres get back, whatever that turns out to be, and go, really? That's all it took? Because it's just not going to be a big appetite. The one thing I'd say, and I hear this from evaluators all the time about Soto and the question of how he would do in New York, you guys remember when he went to the Padres, he wasn't very good for a couple of months. There was a perception that there was an adjustment period, that he felt the pressure of being that guy, going to a new market, proving himself to new teammates, and maybe he's learned from that experience. But I think that if, in fact, he wants to be traded to the Yankees, everyone's going to wonder, how will he adapt in the first month that he would be in New York?
I have also heard, Buster, I don't know if you've heard this, that he was not best of friends with Machado and Tatis. It was not a happy triumvirate. Could that have played into the role that he didn't play that well at the beginning?
I think it's a little. I think it's a little overstated. Because I've seen that out there, that he's not a good team. I don't agree with that. I mean, based on everything I've heard, people I've talked to, I think he's a good team. I think that there was this absolute, behind the scenes battle going on with his representation, with Scott, with the Padres about where he would hit the lineup. When I talked to Soto early in the year, he made it clear he was more comfortable hitting third. The Padres' preference early on was that he bat second, where you'd have Tatis and then Soto, and I think that rubbed some of the others who were involved the wrong way. But I don't think that was a case where, Soto's walking in every day and being a clubhouse lawyer. I just think there was some disagreement about how that particular situation was handled.
Well, I had never heard that he was a bad teammate. I just heard that he didn't get along with Tatis and didn't get along with Machado. So I don't know. I mean, that was when the Padres were in town. I was hearing whispers from people that, that Melvin didn't even get along with them either. And now Melvin's in San Francisco. There had to be something to that.
Well, and as I say, I think that there was, and I know that there was a behind-the-scenes, where Scott, representing his client, made very clear to the Padres, look, he's comfortable as a number 3 hitter, and that did rub some of his teammates the wrong way, where they felt like, hey, what difference does it make when you're talking about Xander Bogaerts and, Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado? Let's just line up the way Bob feels that we should, as opposed to, Soto behind the scenes having Scott reach out to the Padres and try to, adjust that. I really do think that wouldn't be a factor with the Yankees, because Judge, is a natural leader, and I think he and Soto would work out whatever issues that maybe he may have had in San Diego.
All right, let's talk about Yamamoto. It looks like the Yankees are the only team, or one of the few teams that can take on Soto, but everybody seems like they want Yamamoto. So when does that get resolved, and who's he going to?
So it's definitely not going to be resolved in Nashville. He's going to be meeting with teams after the winter meetings. Executives I talked to with all the teams that are involved all think it's going to be a while for that process to play out. And this is going to be utterly fascinating because he has every big market team involved. The Dodgers, having lost so much starting pitching, with the uncertainty about whether or not Clayton Kershaw is going to pitch for them again, they desperately need a starting pitcher. The Mets, that's clearly their focus this winter. And Yamamoto is a 25-year-old who would be perfect as they build forward. And then the Yankees, every time Brian Cashman's been backed into a corner, he's natural reflexes to pull a lever for pitching. He did it with C.C. Sabathia after 2008, did it with Garrett Cole, et cetera, et cetera. So I think they're all in. And I know in some corners of the Yankees organization, they feel like they have a real shot. I will tell you that team executives, agents, rival agents who are not involved in this, they all believe that it's going to come down to who puts out the biggest offer. And in our lifetime, I find this to be totally fascinating. We have never seen a situation between the Yankees and the Mets where two teams, both teams are going hard after the same guy. There have been times when the Yankees are up. There have been times when the Mets are up, when, one team goes after, one big free agent. But we've never seen the two teams absolutely go all out to get the same guy, which is why I think in the end, whatever the number is, it's going to be the second biggest number in free agent history, with Garrett Cole, of course, being number one at 324. I think Yamamoto, having all these big market teams involved, means the price is going to just go way beyond where anyone expected.
So what's Cohen's thinking? Is it apprehensive to spend money after what happened last year with Verlander and Scherzer, or does he double down financially because of it?
Yeah, I think that he's going to listen to David Stearns. And here's my big question about this. Chaim Bloom went to take over the Red Sox, coming from the Tampa Bay Rays. And when he talked with folks there, especially with the benefit of 20/20 hindsight, the feeling was that he was never comfortable being someone who was out there spending huge dollars. That he didn't have the sense for the jugular to say, okay, I am going to go all out and I'm going to dole out the biggest contract. I think that's the big question about David Stearns as we move forward. He hasn't been in a position where he's been able to say, give out a contract for $275 million for a starting pitcher. Will he start to fill the thin air, getting up at a number that high, or will he be aggressive? I don't know the answer to that, but to me, it's one of the big X factors in the whole negotiation with Yamamoto, because he is perfect for every team. You just don't see free agent pitchers at 25 with that kind of talent available. It's an early test for David Stearns, maybe an early indication of exactly where he wants to go with his payroll.
Maybe the Mets. I'm sorry, Peter. Please go ahead.
No, but Buster, I was going to say, back to the Yankees for a second. Is there a version of this offseason that doesn't involve Soto, Yamamoto, a huge name that you think could still be impactful / satisfy this fan base? Or does it have to be a major splash? That's the only path here.
Well, Peter, I think you know better than I do, because you're talking with fans every day. My perception is that they're under a lot of pressure, and they're answering to a lot of angry fans. I think that probably was a lot of what was behind Brian Cashman at the GM meetings a few weeks ago. I do think there's a lot on their shoulders, and I think that it's going to drive some of the decisions they make this winter. They could go out and I'm just pulling names out. Let's say a Lucas Giolito. He's available to sign. You could go out and maybe sign some, Kevin Kiermaier, somebody like that. That's not going to satisfy this fan base right now. They want to see the Yankees go out and make big moves, and they're at least in a position right now where it looks like they're going to have opportunities to do that.
Why aren't the Mets in on Soto? Maybe they're not a match because they don't have young pitching that major league ready. But I've heard things are not in because they're not ready to win. It doesn't make sense. I mean, this should be a thing where Steve Cohen can open the wallet and actually sign him. Well, why wouldn't the Mets be in on Soto?
Yeah, and I think it's a fair question. I think you had the right answer. They're not a great match for the Padres in terms of what San Diego's looking for. San Diego right now has only 2 veteran starters. They got to fill 3 spots on the cheap. And so the Yankees actually, with some of the guys they have, there's an opportunity there. The Mets, on the other hand, don't have that kind of pitching. I agree with you. Like, the idea that the Mets are going to go into this full-on rebuild, when you're talking about Pete Alonso in his walk year and Francisco Lindor and some of the other veterans they have on this team, Senga, who, there's a perception that he's, potentially a candidate as time goes on to have some arm trouble. That scared some teams away before he signed as a free agent last year. They're 2 seasons removed from winning 101 games. You could easily see the Mets rebounding with the right moves. I just don't think they're necessarily, they're well suited unless they got a third team involved to make a trade with San Diego.
Where do we stand with Alonso in a contract?
I think they are a million miles apart. I know, the question is, will Steve Cohen, will the Mets match Pete's, Scott Boris's vision of what Pete should be paid? Because it's very different than what recent industry standards are. The shortstops, the center fielders get paid. Starting pitchers get paid. Historically, first basemen haven't gotten paid as much. I mean, look at Freddie Freeman. The guys every year hit 320, and he became a free agent, and the Atlanta Braves offered him, I think, $135 or $140 million was their last offer. And when you factor in deferred money and state tax, he got less money to sign with the Dodgers. That's the same range that Paul Goldschmidt got. It certainly seems like Scott wants more, in the $200 million range. That seems to be the signals that are being sent out. And I do wonder, does David Stearns, who I think has been so successful in his career following the numbers, following the markets, does he go out and step out for a really popular homegrown player like Pete?
Buster Only is our guest. Before we let you go, Buster, if the Yankees don't do the Soto deal, if something goes wrong, do they go after Bellinger? Is that their next step? Or could they go after Bellinger and Soto?
I can't imagine them doing both just because of the limits of the payroll with Stanton, with Judge, with Garrett Cole, maybe with Yamamoto as well. I am going to be curious to see if they're going to be willing to pivot to spend on Cody in the way that, he's earned. I can't tell you for sure that they wouldn't do both. My guess is they wouldn't, just because they have so many other stresses within their payroll.
Good stuff, Buster. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy the winter meetings.
All right, guys.
All right, that's Buster Only. Good stuff on the winter meetings coming up Monday in Nashville. We'll be all over that as well. Empire Outlets on Staten Island.
We just shipped our millionth monthly coffee subscription box. We're sending custom thank you gifts to everyone on our team who helped us get there. I had to call Eric at Custom Ink. Custom Ink has been with us from the beginning, and he makes sure that we get everything we need and even reminds us of our own company milestones. This milestone, though, I get to tell him about. He is every bit as excited as we are and knows great quality products we can customize and send for the gifts. Celebrate all your milestones with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
Get tools that bring every angle of your beauty business together. Clients can book online 24/7 for multiple services and multiple staff, so scheduling is simple. And with client notes and stored payments, you can offer seamless checkouts, so clients keep coming back. Run your beauty business with tools that bring everything together. Get started at square.com today.
Local hero, national champ, now he's home and expected to save the franchise and continue to go forward with hope as the plan on the
What's up, guys? I wish this was in person so I could buy each and one of you a beer or something. Let's play the game. Am I dreaming, or can we actually do this thing?
These jeans are woman size 34. That was a wake-up call for me. I'm 42, but my body felt like it was 90 years old. Found paired me with a team of clinicians and found the right medication. I'm down 78 pounds because of Found, and I'm just getting started. And because of Found, I have more confidence in myself. I'm actually in photos with my family. I'm getting my steps in each day. Found has changed my life. Go to joinfound.com just to see if the program's right for you.
I'm Jessie Dover, co-founder of Dagny Dover. New York isn't for the faint of heart. The gear you carry around not only has to look good, but it has to work even better. That's why we create bags like the Landon Carry-All, a bag that allows organizational junkies like me to be ready for whatever life brings. A bag that allows me to feel good about the things I carry. After all, this city is a reflection of who I am, purposeful, resilient, and ready to face whatever comes my way.
The path to business success is often unpredictable. Managing your bank account doesn't need to be. Find your flow with powerfully smooth banking that keeps you focused on bringing your vision to life. The simplest decision is often the right one. Introducing IO, the company credit card that offers 1.5% cash back on everything and streamlines card management.
Up your fan engagement with Yes Rewards on the Yes app. Watch live games and earn points. Play the hottest games and score more. Earn status, then redeem your points to win prizes. Yes Rewards on the Yes app.
Your favorite thing delivered right to your door means that you never have to stop doing your other favorite thing. Nailed it. Order McDelivery in the app.
Over 30 million Americans don't know where their next meal is coming from. It could be anyone, even your neighbors. Let's break the cycle of hunger together, because everyone should be welcome at the table. Learn more at nourishingneighbors.com from Acme Markets, Balducci's, and King's Foundations.
I'm a doctor, but I can't think clearly anymore, so I can't do my job.
Long COVID causes debilitating cognitive issues.
I'm a runner, but now I can't walk 100 feet without getting exhausted.
Long COVID causes crippling fatigue that may last a lifetime.
I've lost friendships because of long COVID. I just don't feel well enough to see people.
People may look outwardly healthy, but they're suffering from a physical disorder that can upend lives.
Everything hurts. I can't even go out and play.
Up to 30% of COVID patients develop long COVID, and right now, there's no cure and little understanding.
I can't focus. I can't think straight. I can't keep a job.
So for those suffering daily, there's just one urgent question.
How long?
How long?
How long?
How long?
Until we solve long COVID. The Solve Long COVID initiative is bringing together patients, researchers, doctors, and drug developers to find answers now. To learn more and see how you can help, go to solvelongcovid.org.
Chris here, back here for the Michael K. Show. Everything is on the line for the Alabama Crimson Tide tomorrow afternoon at 4 when they take on the Georgia Bulldogs in the SEC Championship game. Alabama currently ranked 8th in the college football playoff. Georgia has been in 5 of the last 6 title games in the SEC and have won the past 2 in 2021 over Bama, and last year they toppled LSU. This year, the Dogs are the top-ranked team in the playoff right now. Meanwhile, in the Big Ten finale, it'll be the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Michigan Wolverines. 1997 was the last time Michigan finished the season undefeated. They went on to win the Rose Bowl under head coach Lloyd Carr that year and were crowned national champions after beating Ryan Leaf and Washington State. Right now, the Wolverines are ranked 2nd in the college football playoff. The Hawkeyes are 16th. If Michigan wins, it'll be the first time in the school's history they have won 3 straight outright Big Ten titles.
Football Fridays on 98.7 ESPN are brought to you by Nissan. Get ready to unwrap this season's greatest gift, the savings at the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event, starring the heart-pumping Nissan lineup. Better hurry. These offers won't be back in stock. Hey, let me give something away. I mean, let's get into the holiday spirit. Sebastian Maniscalco coming to Madison Square Garden on Wednesday, September 18th, and Thursday, September 19th. That's next year, 2024. Be caller number 108 right now at 888-987-ESPN, and you'll score a pair of tickets. It's brought to you by Live Nation. Tickets are on sale right now at Ticketmaster.com. For full contest rules, go to ESPNNewYork.com. Sebastian Maniscalco will join us at 4:15 on Tuesday, so we look forward to that. Now, guys, have you made your picks in your head yet, or are you still ruminating?
No, they're written down, ready to go.
You got them.
Mine, you know me, mine are not written, but I have two I felt very strongly about and was thinking about a third.
Pick them.
I'm going to, but it's not time yet.
And we have Joe Fortenbaugh at 5:30 today.
The fart now.
And he might lead us. He might help us along the way if we're a little, hesitant on a pick or two. I've already got 1 point in the bank, and I'm proud of that.
Right. Should be.
I should be, right?
I mean, you should have won.
I mean, not really, no.
But you got it.
Don, say how you really feel. He shouldn't be proud. He should be embarrassed.
I mean, he should be proud of the pick, but the allocation he should be ashamed of.
Well, you're a big 3-point Thursday guy. I'm not.
Because it's a standalone game.
He has cojones.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you like
cojones.
You like the Cowboys yesterday. You didn't even make a pick. So who likes cojones?
No. See, Don, it's sometimes, Michael, for such a smart, successful man, you embarrass yourself on your own program. Because I obviously didn't like them that much. That's why I didn't take them. I liked them, but I didn't feel good about it.
You derided me for liking the Seahawks.
I said I thought it was crazy to be interested in the Seahawks given where the Cowboys have been.
So then you like the Cowboys, am I right? I'm just breaking it down for the people.
But what you do is you make your picks based on, theoretical ideas. And, since, you had your little Pete Carroll story you told.
Yeah, how'd it work out for you?
It worked out fine, but my guess is you read it or heard it somewhere. It's not your gut. You know what I mean? You're not a guy. Like, you make fun of me because the pick segment comes, and sometimes I'm still figuring it out. But you know what I'm doing, Don? I'm slinging it. I'm just slinging it around in the backyard. You know what I mean?
That's a perfect definition of what you do. You sling it.
I get back there and I just sling that thing around. And listen, it doesn't always work out. You got to know 3 every once in a while. But you trust your gut. You do the best you can. And I really hope I meet someone who goes, Peter, I've been betting with you all season, and I'm up 50 large. That's what I want to find.
That'd be great.
And don't you think that if that person had bet so much money following Peter Rosenberg that he should be institutionalized? He or she should be institutionalized.
Well, no, Michael. I'm going to go ahead and disagree with that assessment because they could have said, I've been watching what's been going on the last couple of years, and it seemed like a logical thing to do. And I saw what you did the first few weeks. I mean, I got out to a huge lead early. It would have made sense to jump on board, and you'd still be, you know what you'd have in your money right now, in your pocket? You'd have cold, hard American cash.
That's right.
That's what, if you were going, if you just bet every game that I bet this year, Michael, this isn't rocket science. You would feel very, very good about the money in your pocket. 20-14-2. That's money in your pocket. That's a gift for Grandma. That's tuition for Jane.
You're really special. I don't know if I tell you enough.
You don't, because you're still sitting at 17-18-1. That's not money in your pocket.
Is that with yesterday's win? I don't think that's true. I think I'm 18-18.
No, you're right. You know what? Congratulations. Welcome to 500.
Yeah, you played yourself, didn't you?
And you've tied Don in points, too. How about that?
Well, but Don has a game in hand, though, so I'm not really tied. He has a game to make that up.
Good point. Be happening in an hour.
You're very nasty, Peter. You're a nasty man, just like 45 would say.
Well, did I say anything nasty, Don?
You're just very... you're just very nasty.
No,
that's not true.
You're going after
I don't agree. And it's very unfair what's happened. Multiple people today treated very unfairly, like my good friend George Santos. Bad day for George. Bad day for the The 4-5. I don't like what you're saying, Michael. It's fake news.
So he's nasty for defending himself?
I didn't rip him. He ripped me first. So I said, you know what? If you thought it was such a bad pick, why don't you pick the Cowboys? I didn't like the Cowboys, but I didn't like the Seahawks. So if you don't like the Seahawks, you had to like the Cowboys. It can't be lukewarm.
Yeah,
if you hated the Seahawks as a pick, then you had to love the Cowboys as a pick.
But that doesn't mean you love the game. If you had to pick
I didn't love the Cowboys, thus I didn't pick it.
So then you had no right to actually rip me for picking the Seahawks if you didn't love the Cowboys.
Well, all that Don and I feel is that if you want to step out and be bold on a Thursday, you lift your stuff up, you reach on down, you scoop it all up, and you just drop it right on the table. Lift it up.
See, this is the way I try to be less graphic. This is the way I look at it on Thursday. It's like you're going to a nudist colony when everybody else goes. But on Thursday, you're standing alone, and you be proud, and you play 3.
Don, Peter, why don't you have yourself a drink and tell everybody about it?
Lay it right down there on the table.
I did not think of it as standing nude alone before anyone else.
Actually, you look at it
It's
reverse. It's like, anybody can stand on the beach naked. It's another thing to stand out there naked with 50 other naked people. And you decided to play the 1-point play, which means you weren't proud of your stuff.
But when everyone else is wearing a suit and you're stark naked, now that's something.
That's a 3-point play.
Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels.
We just shipped our millionth monthly coffee subscription box. We're sending custom thank you gifts to everyone on our team who helped us get there. I had to call Eric at Custom Ink. Custom Ink has been with us from the beginning, and he makes sure that we get everything we need and even reminds us of our own company milestones. This milestone, though, I get to tell him about. He is every bit as excited as we are and knows great quality products we can customize and send for the gifts. Celebrate all your milestones with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
My goal is to become the place where parents and caregivers come to find childcare that works for them.
My goal is to build the largest university in the world.
My dream is to be the telemedicine provider for kids and families to stop generational trauma.
I want to change culture. I want to enable these gaming communities to become self-sufficient. That's the goal.
Hey, Joe. 5-0 diesel, fountain pop, lunch. Hey, buddy, you all right? Stupid old work boots, clunky as bricks. You ought to get you some Brunt boots. Comfortable, lightweight, durable, and waterproof. You want to try them? They're just comfortable sneakers. Yeah, they are. I'll give them back. Hey! Who stole your boots?
Try any of Brunt's gear on the job for 30 days risk-free.
Local hero, national champ, now he's home and expected to save the back and continue to go forward with hope as the plan.
What's up, guys? I wish this was in person so I could buy each one of you a beer or something. Let's play the game. Hey guys, am I dreaming or can we actually win this thing?
I was tired of being told by my doctor that my weight was always the root of my problems. Found changed that. I'm down 78 pounds because of Found, and I'm just getting started. Found paired me with a team of clinicians and found the right medication. Their team of behavioral experts helped me to make lasting changes. Finally, I found a program that fits my lifestyle, improved my health, helped me reclaim my confidence. Try it out. Head to joinfound.com to start.
Boost your streaming experience with live stats on the Yes app. Real-time features like player stats, game leaders, and play-by-play are available now on phones, tablets, and now on connected TVs. Live stats while you stream, now on the Yes app.
Does it still count as ending the night with McDonald's if you order it for breakfast the morning after? I'm ordering either way. Order McDelivery in the app.
Look the unique strengths and abilities of the autism community. Introducing WIN, the Workplace Inclusion Now program by Autism Speaks. We bridge the gap and help businesses lead the way in inclusive hiring. Yes, these are all jobs for someone with autism. To learn more and lead the way in inclusive hiring, go to autismspeaks.org/win. Yep, that job too.
Download the Yes app and experience the game in a whole new way with live stats, pick and play, and Yes rewards. If you get Yes on TV, then you get the Yes app for free.
Children are the greatest joy and our best hope for a better future. Friends, they are the future. But did you know that millions of kids right here in our own backyard are facing hunger every day? Without healthy food, it's harder to grow, to thrive, to feel their best.
The impact when children don't have enough to eat is tremendous because when you're hungry and your basic needs aren't being met, you cannot learn.
Every child deserves to be fed. This is a problem we know how to solve. Food is not just food. It's energy, health, confidence, hope, and even love. Yes, love.
Breakfast in the classroom contributes to kids being more focused, which leads to higher grades, and simply just their well-being.
Learn more about how No Kid Hungry is helping end child hunger in America at helpnokidhungry.org.
Oh, yeah, the Jets and the Falcons, with the Jets barely hanging on to hope. They need to win this game and then the Texans game in order to make things interesting, to really see if that unbelievable recovery from a ruptured Achilles tendon is actually real. He could say whatever he wants. He could throw the ball around on a practice field. Next week, they say he could do 11 on 11 drills. We'll see. But if they win the next two games and he's aiming for that Dolphin game, then we'll see. If he can't go in the Dolphin game, then we'll also see that maybe he pushed it a little bit too much. And I think that every Jet fan has to be rooting for this. But if they lose the next two games, which is eminently possible, the Jets are a bad team. The Falcons, although they're 5-6, they are in first place in an awful division. And they do some things well. If they lose that game, then we'll never know. And if he does play, then we'll know that he's a little bit selfish. Just a little bit. Just a little bit selfish because he's out to prove a point that he's been able to recover quicker than anybody else. Now, if he plays when the Jets still have a heartbeat, that tells you something. Because he's done everything right with the Jets. Everything. He's treated people the right way. He stayed there during OTAs. He got to know his teammates. He became beloved. He was kind of the star, the de facto star of Hard Knocks. He gave back $30 million in salary. Who does that in 2023? He's done everything great. But the exclamation point at the end of this sentence is going to tell you exactly how you totally judge this year. If he doesn't play, I still think you judge him in the highest esteem because of the fact he tried. He's tried to come back. He's done everything right. But if he plays and they're out of it, then that adds a little bit of a question mark to the whole thing. And it adds a little bit of maybe, I don't know, megalomania, that why would you want to play and risk getting hurt again when you can make sure that you're 100% going into camp next year? So there's a lot on the line in that Atlanta game and in the Houston game.
Now, we've been, when I say we, the collective we, fans, callers, listeners, all that, maybe have been a little unfair to Aaron, like just assuming that he believes he's going to come back. He's trying to come back. And I think the belief system is a confidence. I'm giving every chance I can to play this season. But Michael, he's never said he's definitely coming back. He's thrown out things like target date. He's hopeful. We'll see. He's trying, but I don't think he's going to force it, guys. I really don't. I think if he's ready to go and he feels like he's 100% and the Jets are alive, then it'd be foolish not to try to play to save the season. But I don't think he's going to go out there compromised to try to prove some point. I think he's just trying to motivate himself, motivate the team to try to stay alive. But at the end of the day, he's not going to play it down this season.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If he plays it down when they're out of it, does that change your opinion?
Well, what if it's one of those, again, preseasons? You know, it's the last game of the season against the Patriots, and he trots out there at the start of the third quarter to play a series just to show everybody, hey, I did it.
Well, yeah,
and then walk
you know
off
what?
the
He
field. I'm
played a
not going to kill him
series.
for
He
it.
played a series in the first game of the year, and he's out. So you never know what's going to happen in that one series.
No, I get it, but, you know, he still played in the preseason, right?
Remember, everybody went nuts about that.
Well, no, he played. He threw a touchdown pass, and he felt good about it. I mean, if he's able to play, I'll be honest with you. If he is 100% and able to play, and it's week 17, I think it'd be pretty cool if he did. At least try to go out there for a series or two, because it would be a great story that this guy was able to defy the odds and come back and play.
But
now,
it would be a great story, but is it great for the Jets?
If it's a series, Michael.
But again, he got hurt in 4 plays. It's not like a series is without any kind of danger.
I think the results here matter a lot. Period. I think your whole soliloquy about the idea of it seeming selfish, any of those things, I think it's all based on what happens. I think if he goes out and looks great and people have fun and he doesn't get hurt, I don't think anyone's going to come away feeling anything except excitement for next year. I think if he goes out there and plays and it's disaster, then it goes the exact opposite. I think the results here determine everything.
But how about risk reward? I mean, everything in life is about risk reward, right? So
I agree.
Is he
that
risking
it's not
too much by going out on the field, even if it turns out that it's great?
Well, you mean in principle? Yeah, I think in principle it's risking too much. But if it turns out great, no harm, no foul, I don't think anyone will be worried about that.
I think it would show a lot to the fans. I think to his teammates, if he was able to go out there and play, I think everybody would think it would be cool. Now you got to be safe. I'm not saying he's got to go run around, get into a game that he'd be compromised. I mean, the Patriots are not a good team. If you're up, I'd have to see what it looks like. But I'm not going to worry about him getting hurt in one series. And if he gets hurt the way he got hurt, Michael, then it's going to happen anytime because maybe he's just too old to be playing. Maybe you want to know. Because if he get hurt in the first series, then that would mean, Michael, he got hurt twice in like 5 plays. Mm-hmm. So wouldn't that be an indication of can we really build this team around a 40-year-old that all he does is get hurt? So yeah, starting a game, playing a full game, I get. But if it's a series or two. But again, I don't think it's going to happen. He wants to make this happen, but the air is going to come out of the balloon guys the second they're eliminated. And I think that 9th loss will be, for all practical purposes, eliminated, and then it would become a moot point. I really think if they win and he's got a chance to play, maybe it's a different story. The second they suffer that 9th loss, I think it's off the table. I really do.
So they are, they're 4-7.
Right.
And if they lose the next 2 weeks, there's your 9 losses.
Yeah, now I wouldn't expect them to go beat Miami, and then there's 10. I mean, there might be some kind of convoluted mathematical equation that gets them in with just 8 wins.
Right.
Yeah, where there could still be mathematically limited. But I think everybody realized you got to be at least 9-8 to be able to get that 7 seed. And also, let's not forget, too, guys, if you turn around and lose the next 2, how many in a row would that be? Their last win was the Giants. What was that, be 5 in a row? And then all of a sudden you're going to turn around and run the table when you've got the Dolphins and the Browns to have to still play that's alive for a playoff spot. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen anyway, guys. But I think keeping hope alive is all Aaron Rodgers is trying to do, and I get it.
1-800-919-3776. Very quickly, we didn't talk about this, Don. Did you like the third alternate uniform the Rangers unveiled? I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I like that logo. What was it? I'm trying to think of what year. Was it 78, 79? It was right around that time that they wore that logo. So I like the wearing the actual logo like that. Mm-hmm. I'm not a fan of all those stripes at the bottom. I think what they were trying to say, it's like the hustle and bustle of the lights in New York City outside Madison Square Garden kind of thing. I don't know. You see it, Peter? It's a little loud for me. But otherwise, the color pops. I love having the shield as the logo. No, I thought that was cool.
1-800-919-3776. As long as you're not mad. Let's go to Mike in Staten Island. Mike.
The top is dope.
Guys, what's going on? Thanks for taking my
You
call.
got it, man. What's up?
Mike, I had originally planned on calling to make a Knicks point, but then you said something before that I felt compelled to.
Here we go.
To call. Yeah.
Love to compel.
So you you said something about before, and I don't want to misquote you, Mike. So if I say it wrong, please correct me. You said we can't judge Salah based on the last 2 seasons, and or the last couple seasons, and I completely disagree with you, because at the very least, I understand he hasn't had a competent quarterback, and it's very hard to be a good coach in the league without one. But at the same time, you would expect to see like some player development, whether that be like your quarterback or your young
But
players.
how do you, Mike? How do you develop a bad quarterback? He's a bad quarterback.
Aside from the quarterback.
Okay, who else you get? What other player do you feel has not developed? Garrett Wilson's done a nice job. There's not a lot of talent on the team on the offensive side of the ball.
Aside from that, the one thing that you could directly blame on the coach, where, okay, maybe it's not player development, but it's also not you're not instilling what you need to be a disciplined team with the amount of penalties that we get week in and week out. That's a direct correlation on the head coach. And whether it's him not being on top of his coordinators or him not having the pulse of the team, whatever you want to call it, that's a direct reflection on your coach.
Twice in this phone call, you said aside from that. Well, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, I mean, he has no quarterback. The offensive line has changed constantly. That's where a lot of the penalties have come. They have no continuity whatsoever. And all three of us on this show completely overrated the talent they had on the offensive side of the ball. They don't. Yeah. They don't have great talent on the offensive side of the ball.
I'm with Michael. Now, if I had to guess, I'd lean towards probably not a great coach, but it has to be incomplete. And when you look at the talent level he's had over the last 3 years, at the quarterback position, at the offensive line position, it's been putrid. That's a Joe Douglas problem. That's not a Robert Saleh problem. Where I'll compliment him in is that he's a defensive guy and he's got one of the best defenses in football. He deserves some credit for that. And also, in what has been a lost season, it appears his team has stayed together. And I think he deserves some credit for that, because there's been a lot of reasons for this team to put their tail between their legs and give up. And so far, we haven't heard much sniping, a little bit, not much, and he's kind of kept it together. So he deserves credit for that. And see if it falls apart. Now, it might start to fall apart once they're mathematically eliminated, and he deserves some blame for it falling apart last year. But, Peter, from a talent standpoint, it's really difficult to grade him accurately.
I agree, but just tell me this, guys. I'm a Jets fan. How do you tell me, like, who can I be angry at? Can I not? Is there nobody I can blame?
Yeah, Joe Douglas.
Because I mean, maybe can I blame? What about Cashman? Can I blame Cashman?
Yankee fans will blame Cashman for the Jets' problems.
So just give them something, right? Like, you don't want them to blame Saleh. I agree. I'd like to see it work out with Saleh. I don't know how good an option he's had here, though I do think he has some troubling stats, like the one we talked about earlier, where coming out of buys in situations like that, he's not good. Early in games, he doesn't seem to have an offense that's ready to play. There are things that are problematic, but we all like him. But if it's not him, and we're not ready to blame Douglas, and I mean, the Hackett hasn't had a real quarterback. I mean, who? Is it just Zach Wilson? Oh, but then they can't blame Zach. He doesn't have a coordinator.
I know.
Who can we blame?
Well, Joe Douglas, I think, would be first and foremost, because if your team lacks talent, he's the guy that acquires the talent. So, but to defend Robert Saleh, when has he had a team that was expected to do anything? Now,
4 plays into the season, that's it.
4 plays into the season, he had a team expected to do something, and then after the 4th play, they weren't expected to do anything. So, usually you fire coaches because they didn't live up to expectations. What were the expectations after Rodgers went down? What were the expectations the last 2 years? You can even make a case with having awful quarterback play last year. He still squeezed 7 wins for his team to not completely embarrass themselves and fall apart. So, but to the caller's point, the penalties, the lack of preparation for games, the record coming off after buys or extended breaks, there's a lot on both sides, but I think the fair answer is incomplete.
Well, one of the things I push back on that you both said, they starts off poorly offensively. They're terrible offensively throughout the game.
No. I said, well, as a team, Michael.
Peter said offensively.
Well, when I said slow starts, you take a look. The defense sometimes has given up points early in games on drive. And I listen, they're graded differently because they're so awesome. But I've seen collectively, the fumble on the kickoff against Buffalo, and now that falls on, is that a lack of preparedness or just a really good hit? I don't know, but that's the last thing you wanted to see on the kickoff, on the opening kickoff. You instantaneously turn the ball over. There's a lot of things that fall on his ledger. But the other thing, guys, is how many years can you go incomplete? Where you just finally say, listen, we got to pull the plug.
Well, at some point,
we don't know, but
at some point, he's going to be the sacrificial lamb. If they don't get the quarterback situation straightened out, then he's going to be the sacrificial lamb. Because as you said, Don, you can't keep giving him a scholarship. At some point, you have to produce. I just don't think he has enough to produce.
I guess the best way I can say it is that if they fired him, I'd be good with it. If they brought him back, I'd be good with it. I can understand both. I'm really on the fence about it. I can't kill fans for being on him, but I think Peter makes a good point. Fans want to blame somebody, and outside of Yankee fans, it's always easier to blame the manager or head coach than it is to blame the overall general manager. Well, I did hear from the manager of the Yankees, by the way. His pick is in.
How about that?
Oh, here we go. Already.
The fact that I don't have to reach out to him, maybe it's a little strong. It kind of makes my day.
Why don't you just become a Yankee fan then? Since you like the manager.
There's a lot of people I like. That's not a good enough reason to like a team, to give up on a team that you grew up with, to go root for a team because I happen to like their manager or get along with them. Then what do I do if he gets fired?
You then give up on them.
Well,
that's it.
It's kind of swinging back and forth there. I'm not a flip-flopper.
No, you're not. You're not.
Not how he was raised.
Let's go to Chris in New Jersey. Chris.
Michael, Don, Peter, thank you for taking the call. I appreciate it.
Thanks for making it. What's up?
So first, I was going to make a Knicks point, like the last caller. Don, I really enjoy listening to you on the Knicks broadcast on the radio. I always loved you on the Jets as well with the pre and post.
Oh, thanks.
So always good. Been listening to you guys for a very long time, since back with Ryan. Michael, before I make the Knicks point, you and I have something very personal in common.
Oh, no.
It's a good thing.
Someone we dated, the same person?
Michael, you dated my wife.
No.
And I swear to God, you dated my wife. There's telling you.
Who's your wife?
I've been waiting to make this call for 17 years.
I'd like to know who your wife is.
Hold on. I'd like to step in here. I think we need to set this up.
No, Peter, all due respect, you're the man. We've talked. This is me and Michael.
Sorry. You know what? I didn't know it was going this direction. I'll back off. Apologies.
And I love the wrestling, obviously.
Okay.
Michael,
yeah.
Blondies.
Yeah.
You pick up the phone. They don't believe it's you. My wife has a lot of brothers, and you say your famous line, all right, tell them to say see ya. She said the minute you said it, she knew it was you. She said you're a gentleman and a class act. I'll say her first name if you like. If you don't want me to, it's okay.
Please tell me.
I need names.
Her name is Lisa.
Okay.
And this is probably back in, I want to say maybe 2000. You used to pick her up in your SUV and take her to the nicest restaurant in Manhattan. Took her into the Yankee broadcast booth with Sterling. And she said so many good things about you. And I'm like, how could you not go with Michael Kay and just some random guy like me from New Jersey all the time?
Well, Michael Kay never wanted to be married. So, I mean, Lisa probably
Michael
got out before that, became an issue.
No, but yeah, she
so she
always says good things about you.
She does speak positively of me.
All the time. And she was in advertising at the time, lived in New York.
I remember her.
I know you do.
Right,
Come on.
What do you have anything to say?
He's been battling cancer for the last 10 years. He's in a nursing home, big Yankee fan right now. He's doing good. But no, it's always a joke at the holidays and everything else. Like, you married Chris and not Michael Kay? How did that happen?
Well, you
know what? She probably made a smart move, Chris.
I got so many questions.
Go ahead, Don. Ask the question. Chris is here.
I'm very inquisitive.
Don, ask Don. I've been listening for years. Ask the question, please.
I just need to know how serious this relationship was.
Yes. So how long were they seeing each other?
Peter, you and I could talk now. A short period of time, and I think parted as friends.
And parted in a friendly way. Okay. And,
absolutely.
And when you first How did she reveal the information to you? Were you already a listener of the show? Take us through how that
No. This is probably like a few months after we met. Back in we met in 2005, I want to say.
Okay.
We've been married now 15 years.
All right, I've decided I'm going to stay on brand and I'm going to end my questioning.
But you have other questions.
I've got at least 5 more.
So wait, so she told you from the beginning, just as a funny aside, I used to date Michael Kay, the Yankee announcer, a little bit.
Correct.
And then as time went on, the show has been a part of your life. How have you felt listening to the show, consuming Michael's stuff, knowing that he at one point was close with your wife?
Michael Kay, I'm 46. Michael Kay, if I'm not mistaken, used to do the Knicks with John Andreas on the sideline, right?
Yes, I did.
Sure.
I was the Knicks sideline reporter for MSG.
On MSG, I remember Michael Kay. That's where I first knew you from, Mike. So, no, either way, I've been knowing about it. I love listening to you guys all the time.
Well, you know what, Chris, you made my day. Tell Lisa hello, and I'm glad that it's not a bad story where I was a terrible person, which I don't think I ever was.
Not even close to terrible.
Well, you know what?
All good.
You sound like a splendid gentleman.
He does.
I believe that she made the right choice.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, there was no choice to make back then because I was so dead set about being married.
But is that why you parted as friends?
Probably,
she
yeah.
wanted
Like,
more?
listen, probably, from what I remember. I don't think it was 2000, though, because you know somebody I was dating in 2000, so I don't think it was 2000. Had to be after that.
So then we knew each other then.
Yeah.
And wait, Michael, you definitively remember who this is?
Yeah.
And what can you say about her?
Great person, smart, really, really attractive.
And you believe you parted because you wanted different things?
Well, because every time I dated anybody back then, I would say, listen, this could be great, this could be awful, but I want you to know I am never getting married. So if that's your end game, you shouldn't waste your time with me. Now, if it's not your end game, you can have a great time, but we're not getting married.
Now, was this a culmination of events, or was there one specific event that didn't happen?
Remember. I don't remember. You know
what I'm getting at, Peter, right?
Right, no.
I was just saying, was this just a, hey, what are we doing here? We've been together for a few months. Where's it going?
That's usually where.
Sure.
It wasn't nasty, but that's usually the end game. I know you said this, but have you changed your mind? No.
So, or was there a certain event, like something could have happened, and they're like, listen, if it's not going anywhere, then I would just rather just walk away. I
don't recall that, though.
Okay.
I can't help you.
So that's a no.
I don't remember. I really don't remember. Fortunately or unfortunately, there were a lot of these situations that happened.
God, that was fascinating, man. But I would say he seemed really cool with it. So I think he was telling the truth, because if it ended poorly, or it could have been really uncomfortable, meeting an ex or having a famous ex. So
you know it did ring true though, Don. Obviously, Lisa was much younger than me because he's 46 and I'm 62.
Yeah. Well, much younger.
No offense.
I mean,
Michael,
you left that part. You wanted to avoid it.
I mean, that was the deal.
Peter, it was a given. Because if this was I met Mike, we started working together in 2002.
Mm-hmm.
So I was familiar with his rotation. He brought him along. They all had one thing in common. They were all much younger than him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm just saying. It's just that I don't ever remember you dating someone that was older than you or the same age.
Well, I mean, there were people within striking distance, but most of the time,
striking distance to me is like within 5 years.
Well, Jody's within 5 years of me.
Well, I'm leaving Jody out of the conversation. I would never consider Jody part of the rotation.
Well, yeah, the rotation ended. Yeah. The team folded after that.
Yeah. Everything you got. They just left the league.
They left the league. They didn't play anymore. They were relegated.
Everybody got their unconditional release.
Yes, everybody did.
Yeah.
The Michael K. Show holiday party returns on Friday, December 8th at.
We just shipped our millionth monthly coffee subscription box. We're sending custom thank you gifts to everyone on our team who helped us get there. I had to call Eric at Custom Ink. Custom Ink has been with us from the beginning, and he makes sure that we get everything we need and even reminds us of our own company milestones. This milestone, though, I get to tell him about. He is every bit as excited as we are and knows great quality products we can customize and send for the gifts. Celebrate all your milestones with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping, always. Sign up today and get free chicken wings for a year. ButcherBox.
See everything your restaurant can do with tools from Square. Get a POS that connects to a KDS so you can handle orders ASAP. Reach more customers with online ordering and QR codes. Use pocket-sized hardware so you can turn tables faster. And get one account for everything so you can take care of it all and take it easy too. Get your all-in-one restaurant system and sign up at square.com today.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
You've heard our story before. In some ways, it's yours. It's the one about rolled up sleeves, measuring twice, cutting once, and building something you're proud to put your name behind. What are we building? A different kind of workwear, inspired by the values of those who put in the work. They're the reason we make boots that feel as good at 6 p.m. as they did at 6 a.m. They're the best you've ever worked in, or we'll take them back. Brunt, the tools you wear. Try us on the job for 30 days risk-free.
These jeans are woman size 34. That was a wake-up call for me. I'm 42, but my body felt like it was 90 years old. Found paired me with a team of clinicians and found the right medication. I'm down 78 pounds because of Found, and I'm just getting started. And because of Found, I have more confidence in myself. I'm actually in photos with my family. I'm getting my steps in each day. Found has changed my life. Go to joinfound.com to see if the program's right for you.
Your favorite thing delivered right to your door means that you never have to stop doing your other favorite thing. Nailed it. Order McDelivery in the app.
Energy, health, confidence, hope, and even love. Yes, love.
Breakfast in the classroom contributes to kids being more focused, which leads to higher grades, and simply just their well-being.
Learn more about how No Kid Hungry is helping end child hunger in America at helpnokidhungry.org.
Wounded Warrior Project has been with me every step of my journey.
With experiences that help me realize that I'm not alone.
And specialized programs that give me the tools to train my body and mind.
Now, it's possible for me to get back out there.
To get out of my comfort zone and try new things.
To build and be part of a community that supports other warriors.
It's possible to get the help I need for me and my family.
I got my confidence back. I'm setting goals and I'm achieving them.
It's possible to feel understood, whether it's day one or 20 years down the road, they've got your back.
And as each warrior's needs evolve, Wounded Warrior Project is adapting to meet them.
Because when we pull together,
it's possible to go further than you ever imagined.
We all smoked in those days. If that was you then, get your lungs screened now.
Jet fans, here's your chance to score a pair of tickets for this Sunday's matchup against the Falcons. Just be caller number 88 right now at 888-987-ESPN to win. It's brought to you by the New York Jets. Limited seats are available for the biggest matchups at MetLife Stadium this season. So grab your tickets at nyjets.com/tickets and get ready to bring the noise. Before we bring in Joe Fortenbaugh, this is from The Athletic. Ken Rosenthal, Dennis Lynn, and Brendan Cuddy. The Yankees and the Padres far apart on the Soto deal, and the Blue Jays have now emerged as a suitor as well if they miss out on Ohtani. They want ready-made pitching. I think the Yankees would be willing to give up Clark Schmidt, but according to this story, they want Schmidt and they want Michael King. I think that's a little high for 1 year of a guy. But as Don has said, and I think it was a great point, a deal for a guy like Soto is going to hurt a little bit. You're not going to get him for free.
No.
But how much do you want it to hurt?
Well, it hurts a lot less if you re-sign him.
Right.
Because honestly, if you knew Michael, if you had inside track information that he was going to resign, that changes everything as far as what you give up.
Right.
But the fact that there's no guarantee, especially with Boris, there's no guarantees.
All right, let's bring in our good friend Joe Fortenbaugh.
Sure.
And last week he was 2-1 in the NFL, so he's 23-18-2. Now he was 1-3 in college, which has been his strength this year. He's 23-13-2. So 28-18-2. NFL 23-18-2. College 23-13-2. So not bad. He's been great for us. So let's bring him in now. Joe, what are you feeling?
Fellas, it's great to be with you. Happy Friday. A lot to get to this weekend. You want to just jump right into the college?
Let's do
Everyone
it.
feeling loose?
Sure.
All right. 3 favorite plays are as follows. We're going to start tonight with Oregon and Washington. We're going to go under 66 points. This is right around the same total that we had when they first got together back in Seattle. And they scored 69 points in that game. Now, I had the over in that game. I was relatively fortunate to get there. And these are different teams that are meeting in this matchup. That's why I think it goes under. Washington was great first half of the season, 44 points per game. Last 6 games, that number is down to 31 points per game. It looks like something's wrong with Michael Penix. They're still very good, but something looks off with the offense. Compounding that issue for them, Oregon's defense has gotten better throughout the course of the season. So I'd play under 66, Oregon, Washington. Not an official play, but if you're looking for some action on the side, anything less than 10, I'd be playing the Ducks as well. And a little tip, if you like Oregon to win this game, you might as well bet Bo Nix to win the Heisman at -180. Because the reality is, if they win this game, he's probably going on to win that award. The only other guy he's fighting with is Jaden Daniels from LSU, and Daniels isn't playing this weekend. And that recency bias is a very real thing when it comes to voters. Pick number 2, tomorrow, Big 12 championship. I'm going to bet Texas over 34.5 points. It's their team total. So I couldn't care less about Oklahoma State. We're just betting that Texas scores 35 or more points in that game. Reason being, I think they're going to run up the score. They're the first game out. Alabama, Georgia's after them. Michigan, Iowa's after them. Louisville, Florida State's after them. Sarkisian's going to need to send a message to the committee in the biggest, boldest way he can. I don't think he calls off the dogs. Texas over 34.5 points. And then finally, SEC championship, Alabama and Georgia over 55 points there. 2 very good defenses, not elite. Step back from last year. Georgia was number 1 against the run last year. They're 25th against the run this year. They're giving up over 30 additional yards per game. Going against Jalen Milroe, that's going to be a problem. Now, in addition to that, you look over at Alabama's defense, and while good, they gave up 20 in the first half to Tennessee. They gave up 28 to LSU, and Jaden Daniels got hurt in that game. They gave up 34 to Texas. So I think Georgia hangs a number here, and I'm going to play over 55 points, Alabama, Georgia.
These are not your picks. So how are you leaning in terms of the game, Georgia, Alabama?
That's a really good question, because at 4 where it opened, Georgia -4, that's where the pros got in on Georgia. And then the pros who like Bama jumped in at +6 when it got up there. And now it's sitting right in the middle at about 5.5. I lean to Georgia. I think they've been better than people have given them credit for all season long. I don't know if I'll be there by game time, but that's where I'm leaning.
Michigan and Iowa.
Oh, God. Okay, this one's just for fun. Iowa's team total is 6.5 points. So do you think they will score at least 7 points in this game? I kind of feel like just getting a rush, like a rush bet, right? Like no insight, no edge, no anything. I just want to bet that they get the 7 points. So yeah, I would play the over there. I'd play the over for the game as well, 34.5. I know these Iowa unders are crazy, but I think Michigan's going to put up a number here.
And finally, Louisville, Florida State.
So this was a tough one because it was Florida State -3. It's now down to 1.5. Tate Rodemaker, the quarterback who's in for Jordan Travis, he got dinged up. I think it was a concussion in that matchup against Florida.
And they brought him in to play after that.
Exactly. We're not sure if we're going to see him. He could be a game-time decision. The backup's a true freshman. So this is a really, really tough handicap. I'd look to Louisville, not so much because of that. They just got beat in the really close game against Kentucky, and I think a lot of people are going to be down on them as a result. I think Brom's going to have them ready to go. He's a really good head coach, so I lean to Louisville there.
All right, let's head to the league where they pay for play.
All right, tough card. I'll start with this. Green Bay +6 against Kansas City. Game's in Green Bay, Sunday night game, 25 degrees at Lambeau, total of 42. That's a low total. So you're telling me I can have 6 points in that game? Packers have 10 days to get ready off the Thursday night game. Offense has gotten better and better throughout the course of the season, as we all saw against the Lions, but that's a lousy defense. Chiefs are good. Don't get me wrong. Defense is improved. Offense isn't scoring a ton of points. So give me the 6 in what could be a low-scoring game.
Oh, I'm with you in lockstep on the first.
All right, good. We got one together.
We got one together.
This one's going to be ugly. I'll take Carolina plus the 5.5 against Tampa. I don't know who Tampa is that they're laying this many points. They've been a favorite in 3 of 11 games this year, and none of them by more than 3 points. Now, I know Carolina stinks, but number one, they just fired their coach. We saw the Raiders do that earlier this year and immediately went out and won and covered a football game. That's called the dead coach bounce. We've talked about this before. Carolina fired Matt Rule last year. Steve Wilkes went 6-6 after that. He had them playing football. And then on top of it, when Frank Reich was fired in season by the Colts last year and they hired Jeff Saturday, Saturday won out as a 4.5-point dog in his first game and beat the Raiders in Las Vegas outright. So there's some good history around these individuals, these teams, and this season regarding this scenario. I'd play Carolina plus the 5.5.
Joe, are you surprised the Eagles are getting 3 at home?
No, I'm not. Look ahead line was Philly -1.5. Everything shook down on Sunday. It came back out, pick 'em. Niner money flooded the market, pushed it up to the key number 3. Then we saw some Eagle money at +3, went back to 2.5. Now it's back at 3. It's a situational play. Niners have had 10 days to get ready. They're rested. They're healthy. They're playing really well. Philly played on Monday night against Kansas City, then had to turn around and play Buffalo in an overtime game. Don't quote me, but I believe there were 92 snaps in that game, which is the most anybody's played this year. So a tight game on the road at Arrowhead on a Monday. Then you go out and play overtime, more snaps than anybody else in the business. Then you got to turn around and get ready for a rested Niners team. Bad spot. So I like the Niners at less than the 3 in that matchup. At 3, I can understand why people are on Philly. Not a huge bet.
All right, so you're just taking 2 NFL games, or do you have a third?
No, I got a third. I just wanted to be able to answer that question for you guys. The final one would be Rams -3.5 over the Browns. So Joe Flacco is going to get the start. I'm not really expecting a whole lot there. If there was a lot to expect, I'd imagine he'd have still been in the league with a job. More importantly, everyone's going to tell you, well, what about the Browns defense? The Browns defense is so great. Well, yeah, when they're at home, they give up 10 points a game. On the road, they give up 29 points a game. Anyone see him in Denver last week? Anyone see him in that matchup against Baltimore?
In the Indianapolis game,
too. This is a good
too.
unit, but you can put a number on them when they're on the road and they don't have that crowd noise. So 3 NFL games, Packers plus the 6, Carolina plus 5.5, lay in the 3.5 with the Rams. Do like the Niners at less than 3.
How about the Jet game?
Oh, how about it? I mean, what do you want to do with that? I got to be honest. It's tough to look at some of those games these days. It's tough to look at some of those games. I was looking a little bit towards the over there for some bizarro reason, but I didn't get to anything on that, to be completely honest with you. I was trying to make the case for Rodgers 12-1 to win comeback player of the year, because I'm thinking to myself, if he somehow gets out on the field, is that a good bet? Then I thought to myself, I think there are voters who probably don't like him and might vote against him. And then on top of it, you're going up against Damar Hamlin, and he is a big favorite to win that award, even though he's only played a few snaps this year.
Well, what do you like odds on Dak winning the MVP?
So here's what this comes down to. He's got all the numbers. He's got the stats. I'm not here to support that or rally against that. There's nothing there. It's what it needs to be to win MVP. The most important thing for Prescott is that 13 of the last 14 MVPs have been a 1 seed or a 2 seed. This award goes to quarterbacks, but it goes to quarterbacks who win a lot of games. His team's winning a lot of games, but if he doesn't get past Philadelphia, I don't think he can win the award. And if you look at where he's built these stats up, I mean, good God, guys. Like the bottom 6 teams in the NFL in defensive efficiency, like those are the teams he's lighting up. The Jets, the Giants, the Cardinals, which they still ended up losing to, the Patriots. Like so many of these bad teams are the ones he's beating up on. So he's doing his business, like he's doing what he's supposed to do, but you got to beat a good team to be an MVP. You got rolled by San Francisco. You lost to Philly. If you can't stack some key wins, which is the problem for Tua right now, you can't be the MVP in my opinion. I'm sorry.
Now you're playing hurt. You're a little sick today, right, Joe?
Little bit. A lot of travel back and forth between Vegas and Bristol, which are two wildly different climates this time of year. So
and there's a lot of direct flights, right? There's a lot of direct.
Yeah, you're not slowing your boy down this time of year. I might not sound great, but your boy's functioning as high as he needs to function.
Where are there more fun places to do things, you'd say, between Vegas and Bristol?
I mean, like, come on. What kind of question is that? I mean, I got more in this little neighborhood, which is just Bristol.
It was called a dumping on Bristol question. That's what it was.
It's like, I'm going to be
the most hard.
Man, I can't
there's nothing to do.
On it.
Oh, no, there's a good cafeteria. The cafeteria in Bristol is tremendous.
First of all, you're in New York City. How can you possibly highlight a cafeteria in Bristol, Connecticut?
Well, like, listen, I want to stop.
Well, you haven't seen our studios.
I want to stop both of you. Don, you remember Sal Marciano. He got himself in trouble saying happiness is Bristol in rearview mirror. Got himself fired.
Oh, we're trying to play.
So we both love Bristol.
Yeah, you both love it. It's a tremendous place.
I think it's the best. And don't ever listen. If you have a night and you have just an hour to kill, you want to get a bite to eat, don't forget to go get the wings at Timothy's.
J-Tips. I did that last time I was there. Great call.
All right.
Great call. The wings are fantastic. A lot of great pizza. I got to tell you, I spent 3 years here in Vegas. Then I was in San Francisco for 6 years. Then back here for 3 years. There's no good pizza. And people get mad at that. Really, really mad in San Francisco when I tell people that. How can you say that? We're such a great culinary town. You are. You just don't have good pizza. The second I get back east, I was in New York a year and a half ago. 3 days I was there. I ate pizza, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I had nothing else. Any pizza I could get my hands on, I was eating. That's what I'm the most excited about. Coming back, finally having good pizza again.
All right, I'm going to give you a little clue for your voice.
All right.
Here we go.
A spoon of Manuka honey.
Okay, Manuka honey.
And you'll be fine. It's expensive, but you've got the money.
It's worth it. Seriously. No, he's
Can't
not
expect
wrong.
nothing less. What are you going to do? Give me bootleg honey? Come on.
Manuka honey.
All right.
Not just regular honey, Manuka.
Manuka,
like
I'm writing that down
$50
right
a bottle.
now.
But it's worth it.
Jeez.
If you care about yourself.
If you care about yourself and your family. All right, Joe, have a great weekend.
Get the Manuka honey if you care about your loved ones.
That's right. Yes. Exactly, because, you got to keep talking for a living. Anyway, be good.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Joe.
That is Joe Fortenbaugh.
Weekend. Best of luck to everybody out there.
All right, thank you. We're going to have need some luck ourselves. We make our picks when we get back. But first, speaking of betting, Peter has something to tell you about betting.
Can a handyman fix my leaky faucet?
How much does it cost to have my HVAC checked?
How do I know I have mold?
What do water pipes Home questions don't have to keep you up at night. Get peace of mind with Thumbtack. We'll connect you with local pros for any home project, from a small fix to a big remodel. See transparent prices, read verified reviews, and book with just a tap. Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
See everything your restaurant can do with tools from Square. Get a POS that connects to a KDS so you can handle orders ASAP. Reach more customers with online ordering and QR codes. Use pocket-sized hardware so you can turn tables faster. And get one account for everything so you can take care of it all and take it easy too. Get your all-in-one restaurant system and sign up at square.com today.
All right, here we go. It's a big responsibility to be a designer. Dagny Dover is a bag brand based in New York City, founded by 3 women. We make hyper-functional, performance-driven bags. That's like a mouthful. We're all about getting the most out of life. When you're organized and you have your things together, you feel good. And when you feel good, you can live life intentionally. Oh, it's pronounced Dagny Dover. Dagny means new dawn. It's a new dawn for fashion.
For far too long, millions of Americans have been strapping on uncomfortable work boots pushed by out-of-touch corporate types.
Hey,
To design boots and apparel that hardworking men and women actually want, you have to get on the job site and listen.
And that's why Brunt names gear after guys like us.
Apart from making our boots and apparel innovative, reliable, and insanely comfortable, we back all of our gear with a 30-day on-the-job risk-free trial. You deserve better. You deserve Brunt.
Try any of Brunt's gear on the job for 30 days risk-free.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping, always. Sign up today and get free chicken wings for a year. ButcherBox.
Up your fan engagement with Yes Rewards on the Yes app. Watch live games and earn points. Play the hottest games and score more. Earn status, then redeem your points to win prizes. Yes Rewards on the Yes app.
Did you see that? Yep. Looks like rain. Also looks like McDelivery. Order McDelivery in the app.
Humane have been helping animals for more than 140 years. Whether it's rescuing animals caught in disasters, ensuring the safety of animal stars on the screen, or protecting our planet's endangered species, they go above and beyond to further their mission and make the world a kinder place for animals. Please consider adopting a shelter pet and support American Humane. You can learn more at AmericanHumane.org.
My son Ian was diagnosed with a brain tumor at the age of 16 months. The outlook was pretty rough. We had no hope until St. Jude rescued us. I mean, they saved him. But then it turned out he had a second cancer. To this date, we are 12 years into this journey, and from day one, we've never once seen a bill. It gave us the peace of mind to know that we're there with our son, and we're going to beat cancer together. Now, he is doing really, really well. He's alive because of what St. Jude has done. He's here because of the doctors who came before, their blood, their sweat, their tears, of every day being in that hospital, the knowledge that has been accumulated and shared with everyone else around the world. This is how we get rid of this, how we help kids beat cancer all over. It's the future.
Chris Sheeran back here for the Michael K. Show. The Nets got Cam Thomas back, and he picked up right where he left off before injuring his ankle, dropping 26 points in 25 minutes last night. Nick Claxton has also been dealing with a lingering ankle issue, but he was a one-man wrecking ball. Here he throws down the alley-oop to bring the Nets to within one. About a minute later, Claxton with an offensive rebound and putback to once again pull the Nets to within a point. The Nets' big man had 8 points and 7 boards in the fourth. The Nets had a chance to win it here at the buzzer, but Cam Johnson's attempt from 3 is off the mark. The Hornets get a hard-fought back-and-forth victory, and they win it by a point. There were 14 lead changes and 11 ties in the game, 5 lead changes and 2 ties in the fourth. Nick Claxton, though, deserves to be singled out for the work he did last night, finishing with 20 points, 14 rebounds, 12 of those coming in the second half, and 2 blocks as well. Next up for Brooklyn will be the finale of their homestand tomorrow when they take on the Orlando Magic, who have won 8 straight. It could be 9 in a row with the win over the Wizards tonight. Their last loss, oh, by the way, was back on November 14th in Brooklyn to the Nets in the in-season tournament. Our coverage begins with the pregame show at 6:30, followed by opening tip little after 7. It's the Nets and the Magic. Coverage starting tomorrow night at 6:30, right here on Yes, and streaming, of course, on the Yes app.
Are the Michael K. Show Pick'em Pro Picks.
2014 and 2. He has 43.5 points. He was 2-1 last week. For 5 points, Don was 2-1 last week. At 3 points, he's 17, 16, and 3 with 35. I hit my 1 point play yesterday. I'm 18, 1, 33.5 points, a half point ahead of Don, but he has a game in hand. Last week, I was 1 and 2, but my one was a 2-pointer. So since Peter had the best week and he's in the lead, he will take it first.
3-point play. How's everyone doing today?
Great.
Fantastic. And yourself?
I'm really doing great, Don. Thank you for asking. I told you there are a few things on the docket I like here. A few things feel sexy. I'll start off with the game I just said I liked. The Green Bay Packers getting a 6er at home.
Terrible pick.
Give me the Pack at Lambeau. In the cold weather at Lambeau, getting the big points. They'll put up some points. The Chiefs will end up winning, I think, but I think they'll be by a field goal. I like the Packers to keep that one close.
I dig the
Jordan
pick.
Love's been.
I dig it a lot.
I hate it.
Jordan Love. You're not even thinking. You're just saying words.
No, you see my picks. Mouth.
Okay, good. I hope it's the Chiefs for 3. I hope it's the Chiefs for 3. That's all it can be right now.
Did you call him mouth?
Yeah.
You called me mouth?
I'm glad you heard it, Don.
I don't even know. I don't really understand the reference even. So
there's no
good.
reference. You're just a mouth. Go.
Right.
A mouth who's winning and has been winning for 2 years straight. You know what? You sniff my ass. Looking right up at it. You know what that smell is?
You're not bathing. Go. 2 points.
Yeah, that's an unbathed man that you're sniffing for the last 2 years. I'll take the Packers as my 1 point play. My 2 point play would be your Philadelphia Eagles. I like the Eagles. I know Don loves the Niners, but I love the Eagles. And I believe they're going to treat this thing like the damn Super Bowl. I think it's going to be a very, very close game. And Vegas knows what they're doing, so obviously they like the Niners, and they like it to be close. I just see it slightly differently. I see the Eagles by a field goal. I'll make it my 2 point play. And I'm choosing between two of my squads. I got 2 teams playing. Which way do you want to go?
You're going to lose on the Commanders again?
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But thank you for trying to talk trash while you're getting your ass kicked.
What a filthy mouth, you know, Don?
Yeah.
Well, it's 2 well, don't say it's Don. Don had a rant earlier this year that had 63 A-bombs right there in the middle of it. So,
but you're calling one of your co-hosts terrible names.
I don't know if that's true. It's the Detroit Lions and the New Orleans Saints. The Lions on the road, given the 4.5. That's sexy. But then you have the Bengals in Jacksonville. I'm going to take the Jaguars, given the 8.5, to a broken, beaten down, and finished Bengals team against a Jaguars team that's taking aim at winning the whole damn thing. That's right. I'll take the Jaguars, given the big 8.5 at home, as my 1, 2, 3 point play.
All right, Don, you're next.
Three. So, we start with number 1. And believe it or not, for the first time this year, I'm digging on Peter's Commanders. They're getting 9.5 at home against the Dolphins. Now, clearly the Dolphins, I believe, are going to win this game, but Washington is 3-0-1 at home against the spread. They're 2-2 outright against the spread when they are a dog by more than a touchdown. So I like the odds of them keeping this close. Maybe with Rivera calling the defensive plays for Del Rio, get a little of a jolt. So I like the Commanders covering the 9.5 at home against the Dolphins as my 1 point play. I'm going to go back to the wagon, man. I'm going to do it. The Lions betrayed me on Thanksgiving Day, but I believe they're going to bounce back. Their last 2 games, an uninspired win against the Bears, getting beat up by the Packers. They are a 4.5-point favorite in New Orleans against the Saints, who are 0-4 at home against the spread. So I like the Lions to cover the 4.5 as my 2 point play. And my 3 point play, I got firsthand watching that bad New England Patriot team. They're a mess. They're home against the Chargers team that is completely desperate. But the Pats, did you see these numbers against the spread overall in the season? 2-9. 1-7 in their last 8. 0-4 in their last 4. It's under a touchdown. I like the Chargers to cover the 5.5 as my 3-point play.
Three.
So Commanders getting 9.5, my 1-point play. The Lions favored by 4.5 in my 2-point play. And the Chargers favored by 5.5, my 3-point play.
All right, so I hit my 1-point play, so I have to give him my 2 and my 3. I agree with Don with the Lions. I'm going to take the Lions, give the 4.5. A bounce back game.
Don, I'm sorry. It doesn't work out well when Michael goes with the Lions. You're better off with me. I'm sorry.
And Jared Goff has to clean it up a little bit. He has 6 turnovers in the last 2 games. I think he will. So I'll take the Lions against the Saints. And my 3-point pick, I'm going to take the Chiefs. I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Oh, okay. I respect this at least.
All right, it's the first game at Lambeau ever for Patrick Mahomes. So he is going to be juiced up. He's played 39 total night games in his career. The Chiefs are 28-11 straight up, 21-17-1 against the spread. Mahomes 15-2 straight up in his last 17 night games, but he is 2-2 straight up this season. And Mahomes is 22-5 straight up and 14-12-1 against the spread against the NFC in his career. He's 16-1 straight up as a favorite of more than 3 points. I just don't think the Packers are that great. They did kind of slap around the Lions, but I think that I think the Chiefs will win this game, and I think they should win by about 10 points. It's going to be a light dusting of snow. It's going to be cold, but you know what? They played in cold weather in Kansas City as well.
Oh, sure.
So the Lions are my 2-point play, and the Chiefs are my 3-point play. What's 45's pick?
You know me. I'm nothing if not loyal. Loyal to everyone. That's not true. I've never been accused of being disloyal. And I'm going to stay with my team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Me and Peter Rosenberg, we don't see everything eye to eye, but we're lockstep. Love the Jags. Love what they're doing. Love Trevor. Tasty Trevor Lawrence. Tall Trevor.
And how
that
about
long-haired, big-nosed freak? I love him. I love him.
How about Bears pick?
Bear, good question. Bear likes Atlanta over the Jets, which is, I talked to him about it. I'm like, are you sure? He says he just does not see any offense in this Jets team, and he says that even Desmond Ridder can cover the short 2 against the Jets.
And Dom, what is the manager of the Yankees like on Monday night?
He likes those Jaguars. The Jaguars.
Yeah, of course he does.
There you go. And Incarcerated Bob made his picks. He hit all 3 yesterday, so he's in good shape.
He sent yet another pick.
All right, tell us.
I don't know. He threw in another one just now. He wanted the Eagles over 22.5 for the Eagles on Sunday.
All right, ENN's coming up in just a moment. Stay tuned for that. When I'm getting ready for a game, I have to be prepared.
Get tools that bring every angle of your beauty business together. Clients can book online 24/7 for multiple services and multiple staff, so scheduling is simple. And with client notes and stored payments, you can offer seamless checkouts, so clients keep coming back. Run your beauty business with tools that bring everything together. Get started at square.com today.
Starbucks move fast. You need a bank that can keep up.
I love how easy it is to use.
The design in general.
The interface is incredibly user-friendly.
The ability to easily see all of the transactions and search the history of them.
I really like the analytics that you see on the dashboard. It's like seeing your business in HD.
Getting started was maybe one of the most delightful onboarding experiences I've had.
I can just log in, send a wire, check my balance, and move on with my life.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
Local hero, national champ, now he's home and expected to save the franchise. Continue to go forward with hope as the plan on the
What's up, guys? I wish this was in person so I could buy each and one of you a beer or something. Let's play the game. Hey, guys, am I dreaming or can we actually win this thing?
All right, here we go. It's a big responsibility to be a designer. Dagny Dover is a bag brand based in New York City, founded by 3 women. We make hyper-functional, performance-driven bags. That's like a mouthful. We're all about getting the most out of life. When you're organized and you have your things together, you feel good. And when you feel good, you can live life intentionally. Oh, it's pronounced Dagny Dover. Dagny means new dawn. It's a new dawn for fashion.
I needed something in the shop, comfortable. I wear breath boots, as you see, got them on my feet right now. Keeps you warm, it keeps you dry, triple layered comfort. Comfortable in the morning, comfortable in the afternoon. These feel like kind of like sneakers. They're waterproof, durable. Been wearing them for over a year now. They're absolutely amazing. This is the only shoe I wear in here now. Brown boots are cool. Wearing brunt boots, my feet, my back, and my legs don't hurt at the end of the day.
Go online and try any of our gear on the job for 30 days, risk-free.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
Does it still count as ending the night with McDonald's if you order it for breakfast the morning after? I'm ordering either way. Order McDelivery in the app.
In every state, every day to defend your rights and the rights of all people.
We have got to be here. We've got to be strong to protect those rights.
For over 100 years, the ACLU has fought for everyone to have a voice and equal justice. And we will never stop. Because we, the people, means all of us. To learn more about defending our democracy, go to myaclu.org today.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to ENN. Ray Rowe.
On TV.
It's presented to you by Security Dodge. Go see Michelle Scalisi.
Come get some.
Do it. I'd like to start off tonight's ENN in a way that I think all of you will appreciate deeply. And that, of course, is by saying good evening to Michael.
Sloppy.
What do you have to say about that, Don?
It was both of us saying it at the same time.
It's a good point. I'd also, excuse me, like to say good evening to Michael.
If it wasn't Michael and Jody, then it would have been like Saul and Letitia.
And good evening to Michael.
I'll have another one. Bloop.
And to Michael.
Wait till you see my pics.
Now. Wait till you see my pics, mouth. Wow, that
was a good day for Michael. Good job.
Good
Michael.
evening to Don.
Like a sloppy Joe's extra sloppy.
And good evening to Don.
So I was familiar with this rotation.
And to Don.
You'd hate to die.
And good evening to me. No one's a big fan of dying. And lastly to the caller.
Michael, you dated my wife.
That's strong.
Good old
I'll tell
Lisa.
you what, that's strong. Lisa.
Wow.
Are you still doing the Sloppy Joe voice, but just saying
Lisa? I enjoyed today.
I'm enjoying today. Let's start off with something that happened over the last few hours here. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it is repugnant. Apparently, last night, after Jamal Adams had a very costly play for Seattle, giving up the go-ahead touchdown to Ferguson, the tight end in Dallas, Jets SNY reporter Connor Hughes reposted the video from the NFL Twitter account, and just wrote "Yikes" Well, I guess Jamal Adams caught wind of that because he thought it was a good idea. Prepare yourself, Don. He thought it was a good idea to then post a picture of Connor Hughes and his wife and caption it, "Yikes."
That's not right, man. Come on. Don't be that way.
I mean, sometimes, guys, you gotta sometimes we're gonna have to just accept who people are. If they just show us, like, repeatedly, nozzle. You just, how do you even apologize your way out of digging up a picture of a reporter's wife?
Now, can I stop you for a second before you go any further?
Yeah.
And I don't want this, I'm not judging anybody's wife. She's a very pretty woman.
Well, yeah, that's the silly part, too. She seems like a lovely...
She's really attractive lady. I mean, and I'm watching the game yesterday. I'm going, whatever happened to Jamal Adams?
Yeah.
He talked his way out of a great situation in New York, got himself traded. It was a great trade by Joe Douglas. And then he takes a shot at a guy's wife. And the guy's wife doesn't even deserve to be taking a shot at it. It's ridiculous. He makes himself look like a complete jerk. Yikes, and how far you've fallen, Jamal.
You got to realize that when you're a professional athlete, that there are going to be people that criticize you. So if you want to say it was wrong, the original tweet, yikes. I mean, come on, you got to have a thicker skin than that.
I mean, yikes isn't bad for a play that's yikes. Now, if you, I mean, it was a yikes play.
And if you wanted to, like, throw up an article or say that he's a lousy reporter, then fine. It's tit for tat, right? But don't go after somebody's family member. That's not right.
No, he's a jerk.
I mean, that's lowbrow.
Yeah, say yikes to me. Go dig up a photo of my wife and say yikes. Do that, Jamal.
It is as low a thing as I've seen an athlete do in response to criticism in a while. I like my tweet, Don. I beg, I pray. Everyone retweet it. I hope Jamal brings the smoke to me. I want it. I wrote, bro, at Prez, you are so soft on defense, on Twitter, in life. I've defended you many times to Jets fans on the radio, but man, you are the worst. Delete, apologize, play better, be better. I think I summed it up nicely. You have to delete and apologize. That is a horrible thing to do.
Guys like him don't apologize. Because they're bigger than all of us. This guy used to be considered a really good guy. And then to do something like that, which was, first of all, why do it? Second of all, it's unwarranted.
But, you know, he should apologize to her.
And then he's such a phony. 15 minutes later, he tweets after that, "Don't start nothing, won't be nothing." #Prez.
Again, if he went after Connor, all right, fine. They go back and forth at each other, but now you got to include family members?
And then after the "don't start nothing, won't be nothing," as if he did something gangster by attacking sorry, with all due respect to Connor Hughes, he's a sports reporter, okay? You're not picking on a big, tough target, all right? He works at SNY, for God's sake. And so you hit "don't start nothing, won't be nothing," as if you did something that's actually kind of gangster. And then someone writes, "This man is doubling down on it, SMH." He retweets that tweet and says, "I ain't doubling down on nothing. I stand 10 toes with it. Bro made a hell of an adjustment on the ball last night and made a play. Salute, it's the NFL." You know that's not what anyone's talking about, bro.
And also the yikes could have been, wow, what a great move by the tight end. He didn't say, yikes, what a terrible play by Adams. Adams, thou doth protest too much. So he must have thought he got burned.
Interesting take.
I mean, at no point did Connor Hughes say, yikes, what a burn from never.
But remember earlier, they had gotten into it, Ferguson and Adams. And then he hits the game-winning score right in front of him on what was clearly an awkward, out-of-position play by Adams. And then Ferguson had the monster spike afterwards and blatantly looks right in his face. So, obviously, he was in his feels about it. But, like, just go play better.
But it's an interesting
so
point by Michael, but I think everybody knows it was directed at Jamal. He used to cover Jamal. It was a Jet reporter. Yikes is kind of a negative, not a positive. So I see what you're saying, Michael, but I think everybody would look at that as a shot at Jamal.
But he didn't rip him. And also, again, he goes after the guy's wife, who happens to be an attractive woman, and like he's saying something that she's not an attractive. What a jerk move. Jamal, you're better than that. At least you used to be.
I don't know that.
That's the thing. I don't know. I don't know. It's been a while now of seeing like these moments, and he's always been like, I get it's a lot, man. He had such potential early on, and maybe he just hasn't been able to cope with the fact that he turned out to not be an A-lister. All right, you didn't turn out to be an A-lister in the NFL. You turned out to be a B-minuser, a C-pluser. It's still pretty good, man.
Hey,
you're doing pretty good.
The biggest negative is he hasn't been able to stay on the field, which is not necessarily his fault. But unfortunately, safety is running back at Jace. And the Jets made the mistake drafting him so high. They weren't going to pay him. They traded him. As Michael said, a great trade by Joe Douglas. Seahawks thought he was going to be a missing piece to a Super Bowl. He got hurt. They didn't win a Super Bowl, and now they're stuck.
All right, let's move on, shall we?
Please.
Let's start with so many different things. I know, Don, you're a big fan of Jerry Jones. Let's hear from Jerry talking about just how great Dak Prescott's playing right now.
He's getting better, which is saying something when you got his experience and had the reps that he's had in his career, had the successes, if you will. But he's also had his share of downturn. Dak's playing the best. He's getting better. In my mind, he's the best he's ever been.
I mean, to speak to that, obviously Cowboys sitting now at 9-3 after the win last night. 70% completion percentage for Dak Prescott. He's thrown for 3,200 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 6 picks. It has been a hell of a year for Dak Prescott.
And he
One of the
said
things people
earlier
always
in
talk
the
about
year,
is the mistakes. He's down on the mistakes.
He said, I will not have 10 interceptions this year. I got to give him credit. I've never been the biggest Dak fan. He's having a great year.
No, it was a good year, and it's going deeper into the season than it ever has. He's always been known great first halves and tail off, but probably not going to be enough to win this division. But they're going to be probably a 11 or 12 win wild card team, and a very, very dangerous out. They just got to tighten it up a little defensively, but he's played well.
Here's Dak on just how well things have been going.
My expectations, honestly. I put a lot into this game. I prepare my... Got amazing coaches and players around me right now doing the exact same. So I just really think that's the expectations that I have for myself, the standard that we've created as an offense, and how we're comfortable in playing this game.
What got deleted? The word that Peter said earlier?
Yeah, that's what I feel like it had to be, right?
Yours should be deleted.
Probably.
And you should be deleted. Talking to me like that.
Wow.
That's strong. You know what? I'd like to apologize for what happened earlier.
Yeah, sorry, it doesn't fix the lamp.
He's not trying to fix
it. Oh, yeah, why do I? No, why am I apologizing? He deserves it.
Well, you started it, man.
No, it was you.
No,
Every time I make a pick. No, you say, I don't like the pick. Not a good pick.
It's called entertainment. It's performative, you jerk.
Also, and what was my response?
I said you did what bad comedians do. Let me curse. That'll be funny.
All right, so wait.
No, that's actually not what I did. No. It was actually an image I was creating. The image of you looking directly up at my derrière in your face. For
so why wouldn't you pick on us? It's performative, and we retaliate, and we're bad people.
No.
Yeah, now we're not performative.
Have I ever cursed at either of you? Ever?
I'm sure you called me an ass over the last 22 years.
Yeah, dig it up. Dig up the clip.
Peter, come on. I wouldn't even get mad at that.
I'm not even playing.
I called Peter an ass before. I think it's an actual drop.
It is a drop.
No,
we play it every day.
We use it in
the point guard.
Yeah.
I called him it?
No, I did. I called Peter.
Oh, well, that's between you two.
Did I call you? Did I call you an A, or did I just say the A?
Let's move on. This is not unwinnable.
Yeah, for you.
For anybody. Nobody wants to hear this crap.
I don't know.
I think we just got a drop of the day out of nowhere. All right, here's a story I think we can all agree is wonderful. And, Don, I don't know if you've covered it yet while doing Knicks games, but the interview happened yesterday on MSG, and everyone's been talking about it. And that is Butch Stockton, the high school coach of Mitchell Robinson, who has been living with Mitchell Robinson, and he told his story on MSG last night. Let's listen to the
Let's get back to the fact that you two are roommates this season. How did that come together?
You know, first of all, my wife passed away in September, and Mitchell, my wife's in the hospital. Mitchell came each day to visit her. He came very tell how much you loved your wife, how much I loved your wife, and it's just been a great situation, Rebecca, to be honest.
Wow.
Great
Here's
story.
Mitchell Robinson on the coach living with him.
I think on the broadcast, your high school coach, is he living with you?
Yeah, he lived with me.
How long has that been?
Really, soon, like what, September? September?
Is that going to be all year?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just what's the thinking behind that, having him around?
I mean, great guy. He helped me get to where I'm at. So, bringing him along with me after everything that happened over the summer. So, it works out for the best. I can help him out. He helped me. Stuff like that.
Good man.
That is great.
I mean, I don't even want to undersell it with good man. That's a wonderful story. I mean, that is, and for a guy, Don, who's been playing out of his mind, Mitchell Robinson's been the best version of himself. And then on top of that, to hear that, by the looks of it, his coach looked like to be like maybe a 60-year-old guy, something like that, and has him living with him after losing his wife. I mean, think about it. Instead of being alone in Louisiana, now he's living in the city and hanging out with Mitch Robinson around the NBA. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's really
a beautiful story.
There's another thing that happened at Madison Square Garden. I know you have to get to the announcer lineup, but there was a proposal on the court at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, my God, it's the best.
And the guy gets down on his knees and proposes to the young lady, and everybody's looking at this, right? This is on the court. It was arranged, obviously, by then. And in the background of the video, there he is, Julius Randle, arguing with an official, like it's not even taking place. He can't help himself.
But even that was actually more.
If you're a Knicks fan, think about how awesome that is. If you're a Knicks fan, that you have the video, and right as it zooms into them having their most intimate moment, there's Julius Randle being like, "How was that a foul?"
And you know what? And Peter, in the last week, it's the second worst inappropriate time for him to argue a foul. Because the first time he did it when they missed a foul in a key game against Phoenix.
It's so good.
All right, Michael, that was
last
Sunday.
basketball.
The week, not even that's twice in a week.
Last basketball note. Here's LeBron James on whether or not he would skip a Lakers game to see Bronny's USC debut.
I already told my teammates that if they play on the same day we play, then I'm gonna have to catch them next game. So, yeah, I told you I'm playing. Family over everything, champs. I love y'all. I definitely got to see Bronny's first, his college game whenever he's cleared and ready to go.
I can't believe this was even a debate on the morning show.
What do you mean? They debated if it was okay?
Yeah. Dave was saying, it's cool, I like it, but it's a bad optic.
You know what? Well, it's a good point, though, because Dave Rothenberg would skip his son's debut if the Giants played.
Under those circumstances, and considering all the games that are missed because of stupid load management, give me a break. Got to let the guy go. I mean, his son came back from that. I know they're battling and all. Come on, guys. Really? Let him go.
Guys, without any further ado, let's get into this week's NFL announcer lineup. You know what I'm talking about.
I know. More importantly, you know.
What is it, week 13 already?
I'll never get this in.
My God. Oh, I'm gonna get it in. We start out in New Orleans. Lions and the Saints at 1 o'clock on Fox. Joe Davis on the call. He'll be joined by the great Daryl Moose Johnson and Pam Oliver. Lions have won 5 straight games coming off a loss back to last season. You guys know how good they are this time of the season as well. Atlanta in New York. Fox, 1 o'clock. You know the name that game screams. It's Kenneth Aloysius Albert.
Most people would probably not know that I could play the piano by ear.
He'll be joined by the annoyingly positive Jonathan Vilma and Shannon Spake. Atlanta has 4 straight losses as betting favorite, tied with New Orleans for the longest streak this season. The Jets, of course, have lost 4 straight after starting 4-3. The Dolphins and the Commies, you could have believed, Don, that this also could have been a Kenny Albert video. That smelled very Albert as well. 1 o'clock on Fox, but it'll be an Adam Amin vehicle.
Now stands erect.
He'll be joined by Mark Schlereth.
I literally empty my bladder completely on the bench.
And Christina Pink. And you know what that means, Michael?
It's a pink and stink vehicle.
That's right. Sure it is. The Dolphins 5-1 this season in games they lose. The turnover battle, the best in the NFL. The Commanders 1-4 at home, including 4 straight losses. Guys, they won week 1 in an ugly game against Arizona. They have not won at home since. We go to Houston at 1 o'clock on CBS. The hot Broncos and the hot Texans. Iron Eagle on the call.
Lost in the sauce.
He'll be joined by Charles Davis and Evan Warren.
The lobby is bustling. There is an energy here.
The Broncos have an NFL high 15 takeaways since week 8, their most over a 4-game span since 1989.
So they gave up 70 points to the Dolphins, and I think they've given up 80 points in their last 5 games.
Unreal. Really unreal. And I was enjoying celebrating Sean Payton's demise. Might have been premature. Let's go to Foxborough. The Chargers and the Pats, 1 o'clock on CBS. Spiro Didi's on the call.
My heart is always at the Jersey Shore.
He'll be joined by Adam Archuleta.
Adam Golden Archuleta.
And Aditi Kinkhabala. Chargers, the NFL worst, 0-5 in games decided by 3 points or fewer this season. The Patriots, the NFL worst, 2-9 against the spread this season. Let's go to Steel Town, USA, where they're still celebrating Tristan Jarry's goalie goal last night. The Cardinals and the Steelers. CBS, 1 o'clock. Kevin Harlan on the call.
That guy is headed to the Slammer.
He's joined by Trent Green and Melanie Collins. The first matchup between these teams since Week 14 in 2019. That's almost 5 years, kids. Steelers, minus 23 differential this season. Second worst by any team with a winning record behind the Broncos. But again, that's all because of that 70-point job they had against the Dolphins. We go to Tennessee, an AFC South classic. Don, you smell that?
Yeah, I smell it.
Michael?
No,
you know what
I
that
don't
is?
smell it.
That's Thursday.
I smelled
Smells like
something earlier,
Thursday. No, I'm sorry. It smells like
Thursday.
That's right. CBS, 1 o'clock. Andrew Catalan on the call.
Going up high and bringing it down for 6.
He'll be joined by Tiki Barber, Matt Ryan, and A.J. Ross. Tennessee Titans have lost 5 games versus division opponents dating back to last season. Let's go to Tampa Bay. Carolina and the Bucks. Woo! Smell that?
Yeah, that's a Chris Myers vehicle.
No. It's a Tom McCarthy vehicle. Oh yeah. You throw out the record books at a 4:05 game between Carolina and Tampa. Tom McCarthy, Jay Feely, James Lofton, and Tiffany Blackman on the call. We go to Los Angeles at 4:25. The Browns and the Rams. Kevin Kugler on Fox. He'll be joined by Mark Sanchez and Laura Oakman.
30 seconds.
We don't have a hard out. Everyone relax. There's no game next, okay? Jeez Louise, Papa Cheese. You're like Ron Burgundy. If you see the clock, you got to go. We go to
I was going to
Philadelphia.
say goodbye to Yesto, you clown. That's a hard out. They have another show.
Another game, man.
Oh, no. Goodbye, yes.
That's a wrap on the show for today and this week. Coming up next, British Basketball League. For all of us here on the Michael K. Show, this is Chris Sheeran saying, have a great night. Enjoy your weekend. We will see you Monday at 3 o'clock.